What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything, I'd like to remind everybody that this is episode number 618. Episode number 618 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody know across the internet and throughout the world. Let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Even though I wasn't here this past Monday, I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. And, of course, the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is, once again, tap this in your browser, add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites, the following, ghost.report. That's right, folks. It's as simple as that. Type that in your browsers, add that to your bookmarks, add that to your favorites, ghost.report. All right? Before I move on to anything else, I also want to remind everybody to go ahead and follow me on my only social media representation on the internets today. And that's on Gab, folks, all right? Gab.ai. You can follow me on there under the name Politics Ghost, all right? If you don't have a free account at Gab, well, then get one. Follow me. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. All one word, no underscores. And once again, I want to say what's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Once again, my apologies for not being here Monday. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But I want to say what's going on to everybody that's in the True Capitalist Radio chat room right now. And if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, well, let me go ahead and tell you how to do it. It's this simple, all right? Go to my damn Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name. And once you do that, I will give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast chat room. It's that damn simple. Now, let me go ahead and give some shout-outs since I'm here on this Wednesday Hump Day edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Let me go ahead and give some shout-outs to some peeps that are in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on to Aussies making diss tracks on... I'm not saying that, for Christ's sake. We've got Capitalist America Distilling in the house. We've got Hans Uberlander. We've got Herb Capitalist, Holden Capitalist, Insane Energy in the house, Jingo Burt, Man Bear Pig, Metaform. What's going on, man? Mr. E-Man, Mummy Yummy Lemons. How you doing, man? Pepe the Frog's in the house, Stagio, and, of course, the Pet Mexican. What's going on, everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room? And if I did not read your name, well, then come on down, for Christ's sake, all right? Come on down! Anyway, I want to go ahead and give everybody a 411 on my absence on Monday. I'm going to be completely honest with you, folks. I was burning the candle on both ends and didn't really have much rest for the past several weeks. I've been, not only do I conduct this broadcast, folks, I do want to remind everybody that I am an independent businessman, and I have several brick-and-mortar locations of businesses that I have to tend to, and given the fact that we are coming down the pike of the holiday season, it behooves me as a retailer to go out and plan a strategic type of a scheme in which how I'm going to buy product, which I'm going to resell at my brick-mortar locations, how much of it to buy, and whether if I'm going to overbuy because I'm anticipating if I overbuy, I'm anticipating a more than expected outcome for the holiday season. But then again, you don't want to be one of these jagoffs that buys too little and then watch everybody come in and out of your goddamn shop when they're like, hey, do you have this? And we're fucking sold out like a bunch of idiots. So I'm conducting myself doing that. I'm actually expanding my brick-mortar businesses at this time. Believe it or not, I haven't told anybody that except for the inner circle. I've been expanding, so, I mean, a lot of that is putting a time, effort, energy, emphasis, finance, you name it, all right, you name it. So with that being said, I also conduct this broadcast amongst, you know, being a husband, being a family guy, being a business owner, you know, etc. I also conduct this broadcast, and this broadcast, it's not just the 3 hours that I spend on this live show. I mean, you have to prep to a certain extent to conduct a broadcast. If you don't, you're going to sound like an idiot. You're just going to wing it and sound like some moron that's babbling on a goddamn voice chat community, and that's not what you want. I mean, if you're going to conduct yourself in some kind of broadcast, you make sure you have your format, you make sure you know what you're going to discuss, and then discuss it. So even though I use 3 hours to conduct a broadcast, it takes me about 3, sometimes 4 hours to prep for the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you want to know, or at least as far as somebody who's a broadcaster and a content creator, at this point, I'm trying to get the best of the best of news and information that is pertinent to those that are listening. And at this point, I'm pretty sure that people that are listening are either listening because they appreciate the economic and financial portion of the broadcast, or they really appreciate the straight political dope. Straight political dope. And you want to make sure that you convey the information that's necessary, because I like to pride myself, folks, that if you're listening to this broadcast, and that's why a lot of people listen to this broadcast in the underground, baby. Underground internet politics is because what you hear now, you're going to see transpire in the next days, weeks, months ahead. And that's why they call yours truly the prognosticator of prognosticators. And hence, I'd like to continue to convey that. To be a continued source for that, it takes a little bit of not just reading, but analyzing the information, taking in the information, you know, being able to surmise what's going to happen based on the information, etc. So anyway, aside from the whole preamble, I got into a really bad panic attack, folks. And listen, I used to talk garbage about people that had panic attacks, you know. Now, there is a difference between an anxiety attack and a panic attack. You know, anxiety, I mean, everybody's got anxiety if you really think about it. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole technicality of the psychological verbiage used to describe these things. But a panic attack, folks, is something that, you know, is on set, that triggers your psyche into believing that you're about to die. Your heart starts pounding like a rabbit. You start, you know, shaking. You end up tingling. I mean, it's the most horrible fucking feeling I have ever felt. And, you know, I've felt them more frequently. And to be completely honest with you, I felt one on Monday, and I just had to calm down and say, wait a minute, Ghost. You're burning the candle on both ends. You know, why don't you do you? You know, why don't you take a day or two and do you? Get off the internet. Stop doing just do you. Okay, so what did I do right after I had this horrific fucking hour-long panic attack, which is a fucking... let me tell you something, man. It's unfortunate because I've done research about panic attacks, and you know, the only thing to cure panic attacks is, guess what? Medication. So I gotta pop psychotropic drugs so that panic attacks will stop or some shit. I might as well keep fucking drinking! I might as well keep drinking! So anyway, I decided on Monday and Tuesday, that's exactly what I did. I did a 48-hour binger. All right, hey, listen, I'm just telling you the truth, all right? And that was the most liberating experience that I've had. And let me tell you, I've had many of a drunken stupor. But it proved to me that, hey, look, Ghost, okay? If you're going to have these impending fucking panic attacks, you know, where you just... I'm not even kidding, folks. It just comes out of nowhere, and your heart's starting to pound, and you feel like you're going to die. You think you're having a heart attack. Sometimes you think you can't breathe. You know, you're fucking tingling all over. It's fucking pathetic. All right? And you know, even when I'm in the midst of these fucking panic attacks and I'm scared shitless, I'm so pissed off that I'm having one, my fucking wife and everybody around me is like, what the fuck is Ghost's problem over here? Because they don't know whether I'm fucking scared, they don't know whether I'm fucking angry, they don't know shit. I don't even know shit when I'm in that fucking condition. Anyway, obviously a contributing factor to these panic attacks have a lot to do with the fact that, you know I drank for a considerable portion here for the past 10 years on an everyday basis. And then here recently, when I tried to take a cold turkey let go of the damn booze, all of a sudden I started getting these onset of panic attacks. Now, I'm going to be honest with you folks, I did not know that alcohol was this fucking damaging to your mental capacity. I mean, I knew that I would have a trade-off that maybe, hey, Ghost, your liver, you know, you're suffering, you know, you're toxifying your body. I get it. I made that trade-off. But little did I know, folks, if you attempt to try to wean your way off of booze in a cold turkey capacity, not only can you have what I'm having here now, which are fucking panic attacks, is fucking ridiculous, that you can't control because, you know, you fucked your brain chemistry up from, you know, using the alcoholic beverage as the substitute for the GABA, for the GABA chemical that floats in your brain that's supposed to be kind of like your reward center, so to speak. Anyway, little did I know that it was going to ruin my fucking mental capabilities, and I don't know what the fuck's going on, okay? I mean, but all I did was say, look, I'm going to calm my ass down. Let's go drinking. Let's go drinking in the AM. Took Mrs. Ghost to a bar. You know, it's nothing like going to a bar during the day, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not kidding. I like going to bars during the day. Weird people go in there, and it's cheap. Everything's fucking like, it's like a happy hour, even less sometimes. But either way, I just started drinking, and I just started kind of thinking about things. Thinking about the fact that, hey, Ghost, you're not a young man anymore. You know, you've got to take some you time. You never stop thinking. You're always in analysis. You're under all kinds of pressure. And I'm not just talking about life pressure either, okay? Remember, I'm conducting, or I have conducted myself in some political operations that could potentially still put me in jeopardy in some federal capacity, okay? But with that being said, I just think that I've got all this pressure, and I've just got to take things in balance, you know? I've got to be able to realize, like, Ghost, okay, look, all right? Too much of anything is bad for you. Let's calm our asses down. Let's stop drinking every day. It's obvious that you're going to need a drink because I am not popping any fucking pills for panic attacks, okay? I'm not going to fucking do it. Go fuck yourself. I'm not popping psychotropic drugs to stop panic attacks. If I feel myself getting a panic attack, I might as well just go ahead and fucking start shooting shots. You know? I mean, give me a fucking break. Anyway, folks, I had to take a sabbatical, meaning I just dropped everything and I decided to do me, whatever that was, and I don't want to go into the extent after the bar session because it's all pretty cloudy, but lo and behold, Mrs. Ghost was there. She hooked me up. Thank God for Mrs. Ghost. I love you, Mrs. Ghost. She's obviously in the other room or somewhere, but I'm telling you, this is just fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to try. Listen, I'm not going to hold myself to any promises, but I think what I'm going to do is because I took so much time off from drinking. I took like 60-something days off of drinking. And in that process, I lost a little bit of the beer belly, you could tell the difference. You could see the difference in your face. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to limit the drinking. I'm not going to drink every single day, drink when I want to, when I need to, whatever. I'm a grown-ass man. I can drink whenever I want. The point is not drinking every fucking day. But I'm actually going to try, believe it or not, I'm going to try to do something with with this human vessel that I'm in here, this fucking biomechanical fucking, what do we call it? Biomechanical suit that I call a human body. I want to do something with it, so what I'm thinking about doing, believe it or not, and I'm looking at my body right now, if I just took about 6 weeks, maybe 9 weeks, so I can be really ripped, but if I took about 6 to 9 weeks of just pure training, I'm talking like hardcore training, nutrition, physical, etc. I'm thinking about trying to be like a ripped ghost. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not even kidding. I'm thinking about coming out as, well, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm coming out, but if I ever did come out, I'd want to be ripped to the point where, I come out and people, especially these freaking women out here that are, feminists, that are sticking a couple of fingers up their snatch hole because no one's there to do it for them. They're going to look at old Ghost and be like, oh my God, is that what a fucking capitalist radical looks like? Oh my God, I wish he'd ravaged my body. And aside from that, I want to just... I'm noticing that I've got to occupy my time, okay? Let me get back to seriousness here. I need to occupy my time, and occupy my time with things that are stress relieving. And from what I understand, resistance exercise, cardiovascular exercises are really a stress relieving type of activity, or dancing, whatever. Cardiovascular resistance exercises, and that's what I'm going to start doing. Because I think that if I put myself in a position where I can exert that energy, because I believe that the fucking panic attack, and I'm trying to self-analyze here, I believe that the panic attack is just energy that is not being used. It's in the body, and if you just fucking use that shit, you just burn it. I think that, at least I'm hoping that these damn panic attacks will go away, all right? Because they're fucking making me sick, and I don't like them. And anyway, listen, even though I have another panic attack or two later on, I'm not going to skip a show. I just had to do it on Monday. It was a shitty Monday. I guess it was a bad case of the Mondays. Regardless, I'm not gonna do that again. All right, I'm only human. That's all I am. I'm only human, man. I'm just human. Anyway, folks, let's get right to the point here. I've got a lot of things to discuss. Skipping one day of news. I am surprised, though, that everything that I did say on Friday has culminated to what the fuck this week is in news as far as I'm concerned. Everything on the Friday show is completely pertinent to what's going on here. Now, let's get to the financial component of the broadcast, folks. Let's talk a little cryptocurrency. We've been seeing some wild rides here in the past few days as it relates to cryptocurrency. Helter-skelter is an understatement. 1 minute we're up, then we're down. Then we're up, and then we're down. It's a very, very precarious situation going on in the cryptocurrency markets here. But once again, I'm optimistic. I just think that what needs to happen, now that we're getting into the 2018-2019 year, I think that cryptocurrency has to develop some level of simplicity. Simplicity in that even the average layman understands what it takes to get into cryptocurrency so they can become legitimate investors in cryptocurrency. Understand what digital wallets are and how to deposit, all that stuff, all the technicality, because that's really what's prohibiting those that are actual institutionalist investors from coming into the cryptocurrency markets. It's the complexity surrounding it. It's a 21st century currency, man. We are witnessing, whether we like it or not, we are witnessing the digitization of cash. And fiat currencies and paper currencies as we know it is going to be extinct within the next 5 to 10 years. And this cryptocurrency market is so integral into that future that right now, whoever's invested in it is at the ground floor level as it pertains to investing. Look at the current market capitalization right now. It is a very, very low $199 billion market cap for the entire cryptocurrency market. $199 billion. All right? I mean, this is nothing. We are at the beginning, man. That's why I always tell you guys, long-term investment reigns supreme, okay? I'm not trying to say that here in the past couple of days, if you've got some pretty decent liquidity out of pattern or swing trading, but let's be honest. How much do people, even at the most massive pattern or short trading gains, I mean, how much are you actually making considering you're putting all that time, that effort, that energy, if there's any kind of trading commissions, I mean, etc., just so that you can get that small level of liquidity. I'm not saying it's impossible. I do it every day. But, I don't try to make my whole time and effort into pattern and swing trading because as much as you can win in a pattern or short trading play is as much as you can lose. And then all that time, effort, energy was for nothing. So whenever I gather any kind of liquidity on a swing or pattern or short trading play, I put that liquidity right into long-term investments. You have to. That's the name of the game. Assets, baby. Assets. You need to acquire them, and you need as many of them as that you possibly can. That's what gives you net worth, baby. That's what gives you net worth. I mean, if you ever go to a bank and they ask you for your assets, and you're telling them, hey, I've got this many thousands in stock, and this many thousands in crypto, and this many thousands in gold and silver and classic cars and classic guns. I mean, anything that appreciates in value. I mean, the bank's going to be willing to give you the loan when whatever loan you're trying to take out. Hopefully it's for a business or for a decent home that you're not overpaying for or something to that capacity. But the point is that you as a human being, whether you like it or not, you as a human being you're judged on how much assets you have. So keep that in mind, and I want to just let everybody know that, man, because I'm sick and tired of people that are out here thinking that the kind of gains that they had from one year to the next, from 2016 to 2017 to the beginning of 2018 was going to be like happenstance. We were just at a beginning of a market. We're still at the beginning of the market. I mean, I still think that we could see here within the next year or two bounces in the positive side 50-60%. Why? Just based on the small amount of market capitalization of the entire fucking cryptocurrency market, man. But try telling that to these fucking idiot millennials out here that are they're so goddamn impatient that we've made it so easy for them. We've made it so easy for these millennials, I mean, they don't even roll their own window down, man. As a matter of fact, they don't even hold the button to roll the window down. They just push it once, the window rolls down, Jesus Christ. Oh, man, we made it so difficult. We're so difficult. Oh, my God. Anyway, let's get to the cryptocurrency component of the broadcast. Let's get to Bitcoin, folks. BTC. Now, we saw a contraction in Bitcoin here recently, but the funny part about it is, when we saw a contraction in Bitcoin, we saw some increases in the altcoins. So, does this mean that some of the folks that are in the Bitcoins and the Ethereums, the two big wigs, because Ethereum has taken it on the teeth as of late, are they spreading out into other coins? And if they are, what coin and why? Because as far as I'm concerned, folks, I don't think at least 90% of the people that are invested in this market know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know why they're doing it. They don't know why they're investing in this stuff. And the proof is in some of these shit coins that come out of nowhere, and they are on the top 100 board of valuable coins out here. Because, look, this is how stupid most people that are just getting into the cryptocurrency market are viewing the cryptocurrency market. They're viewing it in the sense of, hey, if I get in at the ICO level, if I get in at the very beginning, you know, and I buy it at like fucking 20 cents a cryptocurrency and just hold it, you know, just hold it. It'll go up to 20,000 like Bitcoin and I'm going to be rich. This is how these people are thinking. And they're not understanding what the value of cryptocurrency is. It's going to take a massive shitcoin sell-off and a shakeout for people to start realizing that at least 98% of the coins out here are pure trash. And how do you know? People ask me, hey, Ghost, how the fuck do you know that I'm in a shitcoin? How do I know this? Hey, all you have to do is read. Read their fucking blueprint. Read their time fucking line. Read their white paper. And if it sounds like a bunch of fucking technological, rhetorical mumbo-jumbo that doesn't make any fucking sense, then you're probably in a fucking scam coin, all right? But if they have some vision of the future and how they're not just going to create the cryptocurrency, but integrate it into a blockchain application or a decentralized application in which these cryptocurrencies have to be used, or partnerships. I mean, I can go on and on. There's a whole bunch of things that make cryptocurrency at this point valuable. So I'm just saying, folks have to be a little patient out here instead of being a bunch of milky lickers. Let's put it that way. Being a bunch of impatient milky lickers. Give me my soda. All right, Bitcoin, BTC, market capitalization is $110 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 17.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone up 0.57%. Current price for Bitcoin, folks, $6,398.03 per Bitcoin. We've got Ethereum. Now, once again, this is also taking it on the teeth here. You could just tell by the price I'm about to say. But Ethereum is taking it on the teeth because, like I've said, I think that the team behind Ethereum is just complete trash. I mean, this guy, Vitalik, I don't know whether he's coming or going. I think he's pause hold, in my opinion. And some of the AIDS, in my opinion, is affecting his head. So let's go ahead and get to Ethereum. And the reason I'm saying this, not because I hate the guy or anything, but his coin, it's not coming out the way it was planned back in 2016, 2017. I mean, you know, you got a lot of security issues with Ethereum. The smart contracts aren't working like they... Just a lot of stuff. Not to mention, there doesn't seem to be any total supply for Ethereum. You've got Ethereum now wanting to convert their proof of work into a proof of stake type of a situation. Very, very weird stuff. Okay, so I don't know what the hell Ethereum's doing. I mean, you got to judge it based on how you view it. I don't see positivity anymore in Ethereum. I mean, unless somebody else does, I don't. Maybe what's going to keep them alive are some of their ERC20 tokens, which, you know, like Basic Attention Coin, BAT. I think that, like, coins like that are based off the ERC20 may just keep Ethereum around, but we'll see. We shall see, folks, all right? Anyway, Ethereum market capitalization is $21 billion market cap. The circulating supply for Ethereum is 102 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has gone down 0.14%. Current price for Ethereum, folks, $209.65 per Ethereum. Let's continue, folks. And let me explain something, what's happening here. We just had I would say about 5 hours ago, we had a little bit of an increase in the cryptocurrency market. It was up to about, like, I think $203 billion market cap accumulatively about 5 hours ago. Now, why is this? And look, I don't ever cover this coin, okay? But I'm covering it now because the mainstream, lamestream media has been all over this coin, and I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm talking about, and I'm talking about Ripple. I'm talking about Ripple. I'm talking about XRP, the symbol. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because business media they've been plugging ever since yesterday night, early this morning, that XRP or Ripple has hinted that its cryptocurrency-focused product should be out within a month or so. Now, what is their product? It's something called XRapid, which is aimed at helping banks speed up transactions by using XRP. Now, because you had CNBC and, all the mainstream business media covering this, you have a lot of people running to the cryptocurrency market, and that's why we saw a bump up. XRP right now took a dramatic increase here in the past day and a half, and let's go ahead and take a look at it here because, this may be a play, this may not be a play, who knows? I'm just giving you the heads up on True Capitalist Radio here, all right? Once again, supposedly, Ripple is going to have its cryptocurrency-focused product by the end of this month. Who knows? So that's why I'm telling everybody right now, there may be some money here, there may be some liquidity here, maybe a short-term play here. That's why I'm covering XRP Ripple. Let's take a look at the market cap for Ripple. It is $12.9 billion market cap. The circulating supply for Ripple, 39 billion. I'm not joking. 39 billion in circulation. Actually, it's close to 40 billion, but let me just round it liberally and just say, hey, it's 39 billion in circulation. Now, in the past 24 hours, XRP has gone up 1.27%. The current price for Ripple or XRP, 32 cents. Now, we have seen Ripple go as high as about, $1.50 up to $2. So who knows what's going to happen? I'm just here because this is the financial hour, and I'm not telling anybody what to do. I bring up all these things to let you know this, so you as a capitalist can be like, you know what, Ghost has got a point. Here, let me read into this. What's going on here? You understand? That's how capitalism works, you nimrods. It's not like these stupid inner circle members that quit. They're like, Ghost, you didn't tell me what to do. I needed to be told what to do because you were supposed to capitalize and I was supposed to be a millionaire. And you didn't tell me how to be a millionaire. So I don't tell you what to do. Like I'm supposed to give them some fucking paper with some instructions on it or something. That's millennials, man. No cognitive understanding, no fucking reasoning, no rational thinking, no common sense. Ugh. I'm digressing. Let's go ahead and continue. Bitcoin Cash, it's been taking it on the teeth as of late. BCH, current market capitalization is $7.4 billion market cap. The circulating supply for Bitcoin Cash is 17.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone down 1.29%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash is $429.07 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's go ahead and get to Litecoin. I've been reading a lot of negativity on Litecoin. People, at least in the cryptocurrency media community and the internets, they're basically calling out Litecoin as a game over coin. It's like there's no partnerships. I know it's an alternative to fiat, but you got Charlie Lee, the creator of the fucking coin, that fucked that whole component up. There's really nothing to it. It's a nothing burger. So I'm not too sure what to say about. I don't know what to say about Litecoin, man. I have no idea. I keep covering it because it's one of the original players in the blockchain. So we shall see. All right, Litecoin, LTC. Market capitalization is $3.1 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 58 million. 58 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone up 0.30%. Current price for Litecoin is $54.32 per Litecoin. Let's get to Monero. Monero, folks, XMR. Now, I like to cover Monero because it's a very short swing pattern trading play of a cryptocurrency. Although, once again, you've got a lot of people using it in the underwebs, in the dark web, and, because people are using it in the dark web, there's some level of demand for it. I'm not trying to promote the dark web here. But this is what's really bringing in the value of Monero. Now, whether or not that's going to sustain any kind of viability in Monero, that remains to be seen, because it's trying to boast its privacy component within this blockchain when Zcash, its competitor, is doing the same thing. So we shall see what happens between Monero, Zcash, these privacy-based component blockchain cryptocurrencies, because I mean, that's where people are going to want to do their underground transacting, if you understand what I'm talking about. So we shall see. Monero, XMR, current market capitalization is $1.7 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 16.4 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Monero has gone down 2.68% in the negative. Current price for Monero, $109.61 per Monero. Let's get to Dash, folks. What have I told you about Dash? What is making the value on Dash? Well, aside from the fact that it's a very low circulated coin considering other coins, and aside from the fact that it's a very fast transaction, low transaction fee, you are starting to have massive acceptance of Dash cryptocurrency in specifically South America. And like I said, I've read in cryptocurrency publications online that Dash is accepted at over 8,000 retailers worldwide right now. So you combine that with the fact that Dash is being used in South America. It's being used right now in Venezuela. Even though this dumb asshole, Nicolas Maduro, thought he could create his own crypto and thought he could back it. What was he thinking? What was he thinking? That because the United States backs up its United States fiat currency with oil, that was going to magically, I don't know what, bring in people to I don't understand what he thought. You want to know why the scheme of the petrodollar works? Let's be honest. Why does the scheme of the petrodollar work? Because for all those folks that don't know, the United States fiat currency is specifically tied to the trade of oil. Meaning, what gives our dollars value is the fact that the majority of OPEC nations, which are oil-producing nations, the majority of them trade their oil in U.S. dollars. And because of that, that's what gives the legitimacy and the value of our U.S. fiat currency. I'm not joking, that's it. But you have to read into that more. It's not just the fact that you've got a bunch of oil-producing countries exclusively trading their oil for U.S. dollars. It's also the United States might. The might of the United States. That's what gives the value of the dollar, that the United States is going to be around for a long time, that we're enforcers of the world, that we're a superpower. That's what gives our dollar value. Because other than that, I mean, what's the difference, really, than in what Venezuela tried to do with its oil-backed cryptocurrency and the United States fiat petrodollar? The only difference is that Maduro is a shit country with his own prick in his hand while his people are starving to death with nothing, and the United States is the superpower that it is. So I just wanted to give that little hyperbole about a little bit about what really makes the U.S. dollar valuable. Okay? Now, why, once again, are the Venezuelan people utilizing Dash as an exchange of goods and services in the underworld in Venezuela right now? Because you can cash out Dash in another country and use their dollars to buy goods to bring back into Venezuela to potentially sell for more Dash. Do you understand how the game works? So if you've got countries that are surrounding Venezuela that are accepting Dash as a means of exchanging goods and services, or they're exchanging their fiat currency for Dash, it'll allow somebody in Venezuela to be able to obtain Dash in Venezuela, take that Dash to another country, cross the border, either cash out in that currency by exchanging Dash for the fiat, or purchasing the goods with Dash directly, bringing it back to Venezuela. And that's how, that's how the underworld in Venezuela is happening right now. That's how it's happening. So that's why you have so much acceptance in South America as it relates to Dash. Now, before I get to Dash or any more about Dash, I do want to remind people that the Genesis-mining.com Dash contracts are still available. Now, it's the best deal in the Genesis-mining.com repertoire of mining contracts available. And in my opinion, if they're still around, I would strongly advise people to just kind of entertain that, because what you're doing here is when you get a Dash mining contract from Genesis-mining.com, what you're doing is you're renting out hardware at Genesis-mining.com, and that hardware is mining your Dash for you. And what will happen is for 2 years, that piece of hardware at Genesis-mining.com is going to mine Dash Coin for you every day and deposit it in your Dash Coin wallet on a daily basis. And it'll do that for 2 years. And just imagine, folks, right now we're at very low prices for Dash as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we've seen Dash go as high as $1,600 US. Let's take a look at Dash. And by the way, take a look at my Gab right now if you're interested in a Genesis-mining.com contract in Dash. And if you are, you got to use the discount code. You know what I'm talking about? You got to use the discount code. Discount code is WEA296. All right, you got to put the discount code. Get yourself a little bit of discount. You got to do it. WEA296 is the discount code for Genesis-mining.com. So anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and hook it up with Dash right now. DASH. Current market cap for Dash is $1.5 billion market cap. All right. The circulating supply for Dash is 8.3 million. I told you about that short, low kind of circulating supply for this one. Okay, so 8.3 million in circulation for Dash. In the past 24 hours, Dash has gone up a little over 0.5%, 0.54%. Current price for Dash, folks, $192.07 per Dash. Let's get to Ethereum Classic, folks. Let's get to Ethereum Classic. Here we go. ETC is the symbol. Current market cap is $1.1 billion market cap for Ethereum Classic. The circulating supply, 104 million in circulation. Now, unlike its counterpart, which is in the red today, I'm talking about regular Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, ETC, is up 2.06%. Current price for Ethereum Classic is $10.83 per Ethereum Classic, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on and go on to Zcash, baby. You know I like Zcash. I mean, I'm long on Zcash. I currently mine Zcash. I've got Zcash. So, to me, it's a good long-term investment. Very low circulation. Privacy component that's probably a little better than Monero's as far as I'm concerned. But then again, I could be biased because I do have an investment in Zcash, to just let everybody know. Let's go ahead and take a look at Zcash. ZEC is the symbol. Current market cap for Zcash is $554 million market capitalization. The circulating supply, what did I tell you? Very low, 4.8 million. 4.8 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Zcash has gone up 1.68%. Current price for Zcash, folks, $114.75 per Zcash. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get to Quantum, folks. QTUM. Now, Quantum, unfortunately, has taken it on the teeth because of the freaking massive contraction that we've been seeing in the markets. Remember, we're under $200 billion cumulative market cap in this fucking cryptocurrency market. And on top of that, the majority of this market cap is going into shit coins, man. You know, it's just completely going into shit coins. And I'm tired of these shit coins coming out. And I want to be honest with you. I'm going to keep, I got to be completely honest with you guys. I think that now that the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, and other governing bodies are starting to look to regulate cryptocurrency, the direction that they're going right now, I'm not necessarily against. Because something has to be done about these so-called ICOs, or these initial coin offerings. I mean, these are complete scams, and I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them, and they're taking the majority of the market capitalization out here in the cryptocurrency market. And you know what's even worse about it? Is that the majority of the people right now don't even know what the fuck they're investing in and why. Anyway, folks, even though that's happening, the True Capitalist Radio chat room, the inner circle, we've been massively accumulating quantum to the point in which all of us now are getting massive staking in the quantum proof of stake capability that it has. For you folks that don't know, the proof of staking alone, the more quantum you have in your wallet, and you have to have your quantum wallet, the quantum wallet, and it has to be on your computer, and it has to be open with your quantum on it, so that you can stake your quantum. So what will happen is that your wallet will be delivered quantum on a basis based upon the weight of how much you have in your quantum wallet. Now, I want to be honest with you, if you've got anything over 150 quantum at this point, and you're just staking, you're making massive amounts of capital just on the stake alone. Anything over 150 quantum and it's staking is making money. And on top of which, all these QRC20 tokens that are coming out, these decentralized apps, their coins are being airdropped directly into the quantum wallet. So just for waiting and accumulating QTM, you're getting a proof of stake payment, and you're getting airdropped any QRC tokens right into your quantum wallet. Now, the reason I like QTUM, folks, is because I believe that this team is the future of it's already got the Asian market down for the most part. But I think that this is going to be the global coin at some point in time, or one of them, because of the partnerships they're doing, the type of technology they're gearing the coin towards, the decentralized apps that are potential out of this particular virtual machine, the whole nine yards. Once again, the value of crypto is the technology. Outside of that, the only other thing that gives crypto value is the acceptance. And that's why Dash right now is being sought after all over the world, because right now you're seeing it widely accepted. So if it's accepted as a means of exchanging goods and services in thousands upon thousands of different places across the world, then that's what gives it value as well. So just remember that, my friends, okay? QTUM right now, current market cap is $300 million market cap. Circulating supply is 88 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen quantum go up a little bit, 1.41%. Current price for quantum, $3.38 per quantum, man. I mean, you can't get any fucking cheaper than that. I'm telling you. For all those that are not accumulating at that price, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, but you're probably playing with your Peter Popper. Anyway, I've been babbling on for so much. We're almost done with the hour, so let me just go ahead and get right into the stock market, folks, all right? Now, the dollar fell a little bit today, and as a result of the U.S. dollar falling in value, stocks rallied. And now, what did I tell you, folks? prior to the unfortunate Hurricane Florence that has left and continues to leave a ravaged amount of devastation in the Carolinas. What did I tell you folks? I said that, look, whenever you see these types of devastations, there's plays to be made in the stock market in relation to these natural disasters. Now, what did I say? I said, look, what you would want to look at prior to, and I said this on the broadcast, y'all can look back in the archive, you don't fucking believe me. I said, you might want to take a look at companies that are going to be called in the aid of creating or recreating all the damaged towns, cities, homes, etc. And I just threw out one company because, you know, it's the all-American machine company. I'm talking about Caterpillar. And folks, did you take a look at Caterpillar today? Look, I don't even want to cover the stock because I don't want to cover stocks because, you know, you run into all kinds of regulatory stuff covering stocks. But just take a look at Caterpillar. Take a look at Boeing. Take a look at these corporations that are going to be required to aid and supply aid or give aid or reconstruct the situation in the Carolinas. And that's what's really brought up the Dow Jones Industrial was Caterpillar, Boeing, pushed up the Dow to we're almost at all-time highs on the Dow again. I think we're at about, 160 points away from an all-time American history high on the Dow Jones Industrial. So, you know, I love Wall Street right now, and let me explain why. Because you would think, if you were looking at CNN and MSNBC, that we were living in times in which we were being oppressed and authoritarianism is coming in and we got a rogue president, he's going to take away our fucking this and he, you know, whatever the hell they're saying out there. And investors are just shrugging that shit off. They're shrugging the drama off that's being propagated by CNN and MSNBC. They're shrugging off any of the trade war hype that these damn mainstream medias are trying to scare its viewers with. The investors know exactly what's going on. And that's what I had told you guys right when the tax cut happened. What was that, March of 2017? I said, I am bullish. I am completely bullish for the stock market in 2018. And take a look at what happened, baby. And why did I say that? I said, look, just based on the tax cut itself, the corporate tax cuts being brought down to 21%, just based on that, every company that is publicly traded, all they have to do is get the same numbers that they had last year. If they have the same numbers that they had last year, they make better than expected earnings. And what does that mean? They got better than expected earnings. Well, Wall Street tries to surmise a given earnings point based upon numbers of the previous year. And if a corporation makes the same amount of money that it did last year, because last year they were taxed at whatever, 30%, 28%, whatever it might be, all right? Because last year there was more taxes taken out of the corporation, this year it's not going to be as much taxes, so that tax is going to be rolled off into the profitability. All right? So, prognosticator, look, I'm telling you how I prognosticate, folks. I'm giving you what these fucking people that you pay at these fucking financial advisors and all this shit, you could do this yourself. Okay, I'm telling you. I mean, y'all can look back in the archive. I told you this was going to happen. You can make these decisions. You just got to think. Anyway, let's go to the Dow Jones Industrial, okay? It is up today, 158.80 points. Jesus Christ. A percentage increase of 0.61%. Closing out the Dow at 26,405.76 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. Good God. I mean, good God. I mean, this is the Donald Trump economy. And I'm telling you this right goddamn now. Anyone who is voting Democrat, And if there happens to be any kind of a blue wave in 2018 midterms, you can kiss all this beautiful economy, jobs, economic productivity, low unemployment. You can kiss all this goodbye. You could kiss it all goodbye. I'm not even joking, man. I mean, why would anybody, given the fact that we're in economic numbers that people, even the experts and the economists couldn't predict. And you want to know why I was so certain that it was going to happen? Because we had a capitalist in the White House. We were going to have a capitalist in the White House. Anyway, folks, I'm just trying to let everybody know that these 2018 midterms is something that everybody as an investor needs to look after. If by some chance you see a blue wave, you better believe that there's going to be a sell-off in the stock markets. You better goddamn believe it. And you need to remind everybody that. All these Democrats that have 401ks and retirements, you need to tell them that, because I'm telling you, mark my words. Mark my fucking words. That there will be a major contraction in the stock market if there is a blue wave in the next couple of months when it comes to the 2018 midterm elections. This 26,405.76 points in the Dow Jones Industrial, you can kiss that all goodbye. Anyway, let's get to the S&P 500. It's also up today, 3.64 points, a percentage increase of 0.13%. Closing out the S&P at 2,907.95 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. It's down today, baby. It's down 6.07 points, a percentage decrease of 0.08%. Closing out the NASDAQ at 7,950.04 points for the NASDAQ Composite. Let's go ahead and get to some commodities, shall we? Now, we saw that the dollar is down, so that means that we should see some level of green in commodities, but then again, because we saw a lot of green in stocks, we may see a little bit of mixed bag today. Let's see what the market is reading right now in commodities, all right? We've got energy, crude oil up, man. Man, look at crude oil. I mean, y'all better watch your gas prices. I'm just saying, I don't like the price of crude oil right now. Let's take a look. It is up 31 cents right now, a percentage increase of 0.44%. Current price for WTI sweet crude is $71.43 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We're at $71 there. And I think it's going to go up even higher because take a look at the spread from WTI from Brent crude oil. Now, Brent crude, of course, folks, is the crude oil that's consumed by Europe. WTI sweet crude is the oil that's consumed by America. Take a look at the spread. Crude right now, WTI, $71.43 per barrel. Let's take a look at Brent crude, okay? Brent crude is down today, 9 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.11%. But take a look at this. Current price for Brent crude, $79.31 per barrel of Brent crude oil. So you know, just based on that huge spread from WTI to Brent, that WTI is going to pop here in the next couple of days. So just FYI, because you usually see a spread from WTI to Brent, not to that degree. I mean, it's usually a couple of bucks over. I mean, this is a huge spread between Brent and WTI. So that's why I'm saying watch your gas prices. All right, out there, watch your gas prices, baby. Anyway, let's continue going. We got gasoline. It is up 0.03%. Natural gas is up 0.14%. And heating oil is down 0.05%. Let's get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the damn metals. Gold down modestly, 10 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.01%. Closing out gold at $1,208.20 per troy ounce of gold. Silver's down a penny, down 0.11% decrease. Current price for silver is $14.27 per troy ounce of silver. Copper is down 0.11%. Platinum is down 0.10%. Let me go ahead and take a swig of soda here. Anyway, we are now in the second hour, all right, of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Before I move on, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire, okay, folks? Because if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are listening to the political underground of the internet. I guarantee it. Spread it around like wildfire and let everybody know throughout the internets and throughout the world. Let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And type this in your browser, add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites. The following, ghost.report. All right? Ghost.report. It's that easy, baby. It's that easy. Add that to your bookmarks. Add that to your favorites. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I want to say what's going on to everybody out there in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. How you doing, man? And for all those that are out there that don't know, this is how you become a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. First of all, you got to follow me on Gab. That's my only social media representation on the internet today. Anyone else on any other social media claiming to be me, fake and gay, okay? So follow me on Gab. Of course, the name is Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. And once you follow me, once you're there on Gab, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then do the following, okay? Click the subscribe button for premium content on my Gab at Politics Ghost, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and then once you do, private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will give you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now, let me go ahead and give some more shout-outs to everybody who's out there in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. Cheers to everybody in the inner circle, by the way. Let's go ahead, and we got Stagio, Pepe the Frog, Mummy Yummy Lemons, Metaform, Man Bear Pig, Insane Energy, Ice Cap in the house. What's going on, man? Holden Capitalist, Herb Capitalist, Hans Uberlander, Funky Butt Lovin', Capitalist America, and I think that's Aesthetic Capitalist. I don't know who the hell that is. I think that's him. Anyway, what's going on to Hawklate? What's going on to Australian Capitalist? What's going on to Hoodie? What's going on to everybody out there, folks? Okay, now, before I move on to the commodities and the agricultural part of it here, let me read. Somebody just posted something in the True Capitalist Radio chat room about alcohol and panic attacks. So let me go ahead and read this, okay? There is a strong link between alcohol and panic attacks. Jesus Christ. Those people who suffer from anxiety in such attacks are often tempted to turn to alcohol as a solution. This type of self-medication is common. In the beginning, drinking does appear to lessen anxiety, and the individual may also believe it is preventing their panic attacks. Over time, the dampening effect of alcohol begins to disappear. The individual discovers that alcohol is the worst possible solution to their attacks, but then they feel unable to stop drinking. Yeah, we get it. All right, I mean that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. If you're just tuning in, I just talked about why I had to take a couple of days sabbatical from the show, and panic attacks, man. It's not a joke. It's not a damn joke, man. Anyway, enough about me and panic attacks and all this garbage. Let's get back to the commodities. Agriculture, all right? Grains, baby, grains. We've got corn down 0.14%. What's up, Curly McWhirly? What's up, Capitalist America? We've got wheat down 0.24%. Oats is up 0.10%. Rough rice is down 0.31%. Soybean is down 0.09%. Soybean oil is up 0.11%. And canola is down 0.12%. Let's get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa. Cocoa is down, actually, it's down 2.10%. Good God. 2.10% negative for cocoa. We've got coffee. It is up 0.89%. Sugar. Sugar is up 1.22%. We've been seeing some real big increases in sugar. We've got orange juice. It is down 0.14%. Cotton is up 0.25%. Lumber is down 0.26%. Rubber is up 0.42%. And ethanol is down 0.40%. Let's go ahead and get to livestock. We've got live cattle. It is unchanged, believe it or not, for today. Unchanged. Cattle feeder is down 0.06%. And lean hog, folks, we should be seeing a little bit of an increase in lean hog. I want to be honest with you. There's a lot of livestock, specifically hogs, in the Carolina region that were unfortunately killed in the flooding process of that entire region. So take a look at lean hogs. I'm just saying for all you commodities investors. But right now, it is down 0.13%. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? Anyway, man, thank you all for listening in, and let's go ahead and continue on with the broadcast, folks, because, I mean, there's no transition. There's no, oh, we're going to go to break. But one thing I do want to do is get another Coca-Cola here. So we get another Coca-Cola. Yeah, we're not drinking alcohol today, all right? I mean, we're trying to stop all that and trying to make it a little bit better. We're just trying not to drink every day. I don't know. I was trying to make some excuse. I can't come up with a fucking excuse. Anyway, let's get right to the damn nitty gritty. Let's get to the straight political dope. Let's talk about the greatest president, I think, ever in American history at this point, the modern day George Washington himself. I'm talking about Donald Trump. Let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump news. Now, did everybody see Donald Trump go to the Carolinas and visit folks that were afflicted by this Hurricane Florence? And good God, Godspeed to the folks out there in the Carolinas. What a horrible situation. And I don't know if y'all remember the last Wednesday when I was trying to tell everybody to get the hell out of the way, that even though it may be a Category 1 hurricane, that the floods are going to be the big issue. And, just make sure that you have flood insurance. I don't know if y'all remember me telling you that. I hope that y'all did. But either way, folks, Donald Trump goes out there, visits the folks that were afflicted by this horrible, horrible natural disaster, Hurricane Florence. Both the Carolinas are in very, very dire straits. Complete disaster areas. I think the numbers at this point are almost 40 people. Almost 40 people dead. A lot of the folks that were dead, unfortunately, are dead because of the floods. Because the hurricane, they were able to withstand it. It was the constant flooding that crested nearby rivers and bays and things of that capacity. So that's really what is causing the most deaths in this natural disaster. And moreover, one thing that's positive that I can say is we see the good out of people when natural disasters like this happen. And I want to give props to one organization, and they don't tell me to do this. I don't even know the organization. I just see them every time there's a hurricane. They're out there in mass trying to take people out of houses, trying to rescue people. And I'm talking about the Cajun Navy. The Cajun Navy, much props to these guys going out there. They've been the ones that have been taking people out of houses. They've been the ones that have been going out there voluntarily. All right, voluntarily going out there taking people's pets out of their homes. I mean, it is just a horrible, horrible, devastating situation. But the president visited the Carolinas, and, I mean, isn't this President Trump at its best, man? I mean, the B-roll footage that I was seeing of Donald Trump out there trying to show compassion to the people and trying to give people a little bit of a pep up, considering all the things that they have been going through, handing out food, reassuring everybody out there that they're Americans and that Trump and the federal government and the entire resources of the government has their back. It's just a reassuring feeling. I mean, you got to think about this. Donald Trump goes out and he literally visits people in these devastated areas. You got to think about somebody who is at this town or the towns that he visited today. There's no electricity, there's no running water, there's nothing. And then what do you see? You see the president out there in the middle of the street trying to give compassion to people, trying to console people, trying to tell people, hey, look, we're here, all right? This ain't Obama. I'm not going golfing over here when you're in the middle of a fucking hurricane and you're devastated. Y'all remember that? And by the way, Trump was there too. Do y'all remember that in New Orleans and those areas? Y'all remember that? That dumbass Obama was golfing. Meanwhile, Trump was utilizing his own resources and taking food and other supplies out of his own pocket, man, to go out there and deliver it. And that's why I'm saying, man, I mean, you can't fake that. You can't fake what Trump does. You can tell this man genuinely loves people. He genuinely likes being around them. I mean, he's a natural. I mean, I just love watching him communicate with people. I mean, you have to think that this is a billionaire. This is a guy who has had the best of the best. The best food, the best clothes, the best jewelry, the best houses, the best cars, the best of everything, the best women. He's been around the so-called elites. And that's the beautiful part about Donald Trump. He don't like these elites. He don't like those elites, man. And that's what makes Donald Trump such a unique soul. He's a unique soul because he didn't sell his soul to these goddamn so-called elites, which half of them are a bunch of goddamn infant-worshipping Satanist scumbags, if you want my opinion, But once again, man, Donald Trump visiting the Carolinas after Hurricane Florence, telling everybody out there that the United States people, the president, the entire government is on their side, and we got to help each other. These are American folks out there, and I feel bad looking at them. And everybody that has a means of being able to help, I would strongly recommend doing it. Now, be careful who you send money to in relation to Hurricane Florence. If you want my opinion, I think that you need to go after independent organizations like the Cajun Navy, people that are affiliated with them that are not Red Cross and all these other big-time nonprofits that do nothing but give about, 7% of what you fucking donate to the actual cause. Now, these are people that are living and breathing what they're doing, and that's what you need to give to help the people. I mean, I don't mean to bring up the Cajun Navy again, but these are guys that they remembered Katrina. That's where they started. They remember Katrina. They pulled out dead bodies. They pulled people and rescued them. It's something that they not only just enjoy and appreciate, it's something they want to do. It's something they can do. Remember, they're Cajun. Remember, the Cajuns, they live out there in swamps in Louisiana. So they go out there, they understand how to maneuver boats. They understand how to maneuver these things. I mean, they're using their skill in helping American people. I just can't underscore... I can't underscore what the hell they're doing and how much they're helping people that are in dire straits right now. Anyway, cheers to those that are out there picking their pieces of their life back together. Hopefully you have every one of your family members intact. So cheers to all you guys out there, man. Godspeed to the Carolinas. And what a beautiful B-roll footage and beautiful pictures of President Trump consoling the people out there. It's just, you can't, I mean, Hillary Clinton couldn't do that. Hillary Clinton couldn't look genuinely caring of helping the folks that needed the help out there in the Carolinas. She couldn't do that. She couldn't do that fucking shit. Give me a break. Let me have my freaking soda here. I'm just saying, I don't think Hillary Clinton could do it. But more president news, because we got to talk. I mean, there was just so much stuff to talk about. In an interview with The Hill, the president says that exposing corruption within the FBI and the DOJ will be his crowning achievement. Ridding the, quote, cancer out of the government, man. I mean, oh, man. I mean, I agree with him on this. I think that it will be his crowning achievement, exposing the type of criminality and corruption that plagues the deep state of our government. I'm not even kidding around, man. I'm not even kidding around. I completely agree with the president. I think that exposing the corruption of the FBI and the DOJ will be his crowning achievement. I think it'll go down in the history books. Now, why is he bringing this up? Well, in this interview, they're asking him about, obviously, this Russia-Trump investigation, Robert Mueller, etc. And in the same interview, they questioned him about his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, and he says, and I quote, "I don't have an Attorney General." I mean, you could tell that Trump is pretty upset, and I don't blame him, because we all know at this point that Jeff Sessions was nothing more than an establishment weasel put there to try to destroy Trump in some capacity. You know it, and I know it at this point. We all heard Papadopoulos say that in that meeting, the only picture of Papadopoulos and Trump in the same room, in that meeting, in that round table, when Papadopoulos suggested, hey, I've got some inside connections, I could probably get at a meeting with Putin and Trump. What does everybody think about it? Everybody at that table was not very positive about it, except for Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions suggested to Papadopoulos to continue to try to pursue whatever it is that he had in an attempt to try to get a Putin-Trump type of meeting. Even though under oath, Jeff Sessions claimed that he did not, and that he told Papadopoulos not to do it, etc. So you got a little bit of a conflict of interest, and just based on the actions or lack of actions of the Attorney General Jeff Sessions, you can tell that he's establishment trash, a soulless piece of crap. And I can't believe this guy can get up and actually look at himself in the mirror. But you know what? He's been a lifelong bureaucrat. Bureaucrats have no souls. They could care less about how they look in people's eyes. They are pieces of garbage, man. So I don't blame the president giving his damn Attorney General a bitch slap. I mean, it's obvious that Jeff Sessions was put there to try to obstruct Donald Trump. I mean, there's just no other way around it. I mean, look at what he's doing. Look at what this fucking Attorney General is allowing to happen within his own Department of Justice. It just makes me sick, man. It makes me sick. Now, why is it, once again, why is it that the president believes that his crowning achievement will be exposing the corruption and criminality in the FBI and the DOJ? Well, he recently ordered the declassification, folks, of the FBI and DOJ documents related to the Russia-Trump probe. He wants the FISA warrants to be declassified for Carter Page. He wants texts. He wants emails. He wants all this unearthed. And guess what? It doesn't seem that the DOJ and the FBI want to give up the documents. And at first, when the president said to, declassify and make these documents public, you had retired members of the DOJ and the FBI telling the current DOJ and the FBI to resist. To resist a president's orders. I mean, this is unprecedented, folks. This is unprecedented. The president is ordering the Department of Justice and the FBI to declassify these documents and not to redact them, and they refuse to do so. And they said even the documents that they are going to release, that they are going to redact them. Oh, that's great, huh? This is our government right here. I mean, folks, do you understand that the constitutional crisis that the Democrats are touting about is coming directly from them and their politicization of the Department of Justice and the FBI? And I guarantee you, folks, once the unredacted documents actually come out, it will implicate the highest echelons of the FBI and the DOJ politically weaponizing these institutions to prevent a candidate or a potential president from flourishing in power. And what do I mean by that? All this shit was a setup. They set up Donnie Jr. in Trump Tower. They set up Papadopoulos in Rome with Mifsud. They set up Sam Clovis with Halperin. This is all a big, massive fucking setup. This was a weaponization of institutions at the highest level of the judicial branch. And yet, because we have such a polarized political scene in this country, people can't drop their fucking partisan bias and understand that it is these fucking people, these bureaucrats at these highest levels of the judicial branch that are causing the constitutional crisis. So, in my personal opinion, folks, I think that it is going to be the crowning achievement of the presidency of Donald Trump. Exposing the corruption, exposing the criminality, for Christ's sake. And by God, folks, if for whatever reason the FBI and the DOJ do not release these documents relating to Russia-Trump's investigation or Carter Page's FISA warrants or the texts or the FBI emails or everything else that Donald Trump is asking for, then we as the people need to start demanding justice, for Christ's sake. How much longer are we, the people, going to allow these people to get away with this shit? How long? How long? These people at the highest levels of the DOJ and the FBI politicized these entities. And these people think that they're untouchable? I mean, folks, I recently gabbed a Project Veritas, actually 2 separate videos by Project Veritas. Much props to James O'Keefe. But Project Veritas has done it again. They released, folks, and look, this is just the beginning of what they've released. They've released undercover videos highlighting the unelected deep state that is utilizing their positions within the government to be a part of the resistance. Here, let me go ahead and re-gab those. Let me repost those. Here's the first one. In this first undercover video by Project Veritas, this guy named Stuart Kararfa works at the State Department and says that he and people within the State Department are purposely trying to, quote, fuck shit up because they're a part of the resistance. Yeah. Here's another one. I'm going to repost this one on Gab as well. Allison Harbaugh. She is where? Where does she work? Where does Allison Harbaugh work? She works for the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice. And guess what? In this Project Veritas video, Allison Harbaugh at the Department of Justice, believe it or not, is an card-carrying member of fucking the Democratic Socialists. She's out there with the bullhorn with these Democratic Socialists. As a matter of fact, she was the vocal person when they caught the Department of Homeland Security head. When they caught her in a Mexican restaurant, do you remember? In between that immigration child separation nonsense? It was Allison Harbaugh that led that goddamn protest inside the Mexican restaurant, accosting the Department of Homeland Security head. Now, folks, these are just minor members of what is the accumulative, unelected deep state. These are bureaucrats. And in these videos, folks, Project Veritas and James O'Keefe expose that the reason they're so brazen and they don't care, that they don't care what they do, they don't care that they are vocal members of the Democratic Socialists of America, they don't care because it's damn near, quote, impossible to fire a federal bureaucrat. Can you believe that? I mean, they know it. They say it. They say it, man. It's damn near impossible to fire a bureaucrat. It's damn near impossible to fire a federal employee. That's why they're getting away with it. Take a look at my Gab. I just reposted both of those videos. And if you get them, you repost them. This type of corruption, this type of criminality needs to be exposed, man. And I've told you, I've been telling you all for 10 years that this government has been infiltrated by communists and socialists. And now you've got an undercover video proving this. There's the proof. Go to my Gab right now. Politics Ghost. There's the proof. And these goddamn socialists must be stopped. Do you understand me? Why do you think that I give you everything for 3 fucking hours on this broadcast in an attempt to try to inspire whoever's listening out there to start taking politics serious? Look at how serious these fucking crazy-ass socialists are taking politics. Look! Look at the video! Look! For Christ's sake! It's time for those of us on the right, the capitalists, to start getting serious, for Christ's sake. Do you understand? There's no more time. There's no more time to fuck around. Shit, is there anybody out there fucking listening? Fuck! Give me my freaking soda. Look, I'm just saying, folks, okay? This is the enemy. This is the enemy that we are facing here. That's why, if this is a government that's made for the people and by the people need to know what's going on and start taking their responsibility as participating in politics very fucking serious. Shit! But, man, I mean, good luck getting anybody serious out here unless it's fucking Fortnite. Right? Well, yeah, I got Fortnite. Yay! Or if it's Rick and Morty. Yay! Rick and Morty. I'm Pickle Rick. I'm Pickle Rick. Rick! Anyway, the president once again orders the declassification of the FBI and the DOJ documents involving the Russia-Trump probe. And we don't know if the DOJ and the FBI are going to oblige. And if they do oblige, whether or not they're going to leave it unredacted. I've already read reports that the DOJ and the FBI are going to redact these damn things. And we don't need them redacted. We need to know the truth. And we need to know who was committing criminality, who was committing corruption, and we need to hold them accountable, damn it! Is there fucking anybody listening? We need to hold these fucking people accountable! Damn it! You need to hold these fucking people accountable! I'm telling you, man, I mean, there's no justice. There is no justice. This is where the fucking constitutional crisis is coming from. It's coming from the FBI. It's coming from the DOJ. It's coming from the Democrats. And by the way, folks, this is a good transition for this, but why is it that now the Democrats have become the... And remember, this is the party of Bill Slick Willie Clinton. The Democrats, the party of Bill Slick Willie Clinton, are now moralists? They're moralists now? Now they're trying to focus on this 35-year-old allegation as it relates to the Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh? I mean, why is it that the Democrats are putting so much effort, energy, and focus on this? Because they don't want what's going to come out of these declassified FBI and DOJ documents to be implicating them, their party, or Hillary Clinton, or anybody. And they know they're complicit. They know they're complicit. That's why you got Democrats focusing more about what Brett Kavanaugh did in high school than actually doing anything governing-wise. They're trying to put the media attention away from the documentation that the president is requesting declassified so that everybody's attention can be on this. So once again, folks, we better demand. I mean, if you're on Twitter, start tweeting at the DOJ and the FBI and demanding these sons of bitches to fucking unclassify the documents the president has requested and make sure they're unredacted. You corrupt pieces of constitutional crisis shit. Release the documents and release them unredacted. I'm not joking, man. I hope the fucking FBI and the DOJ don't pull this crap. Now, since we were talking about the Democrats now becoming moralists, this is once again the party of Bill and Hillary Clinton, or I should say, hi, I'm Bill Clinton. Hi, they used to call me Slick Willie, you know, because I got a big Willie. I like to pull it out like I did with Kathleen Willie. You remember Kathleen Willie? Yeah, I pulled out my big Willie to show Kathleen Willie so she could suck my Willie. I mean, y'all remember this guy, right? Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willie, Paula Jones, Jennifer Flowers. I mean, we could go on and on. I mean, this is the party of Bill Slick Willie Clinton over here, and now, all of a sudden, the Democrats have become a party of morality? I mean, and by the way, what the Democrats are doing in this Brett Kavanaugh Supreme Court confirmation hearing is the most pathetic political theater I have ever seen in my entire life. It is the most pathetic political theater I have ever heard, okay? Now, for you folks that have been out of the loop or not really concerned about the Supreme Court confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh, we were damn near at the end and are about ready to vote in the committee of the Judiciary, the Senate Judiciary Committee, to begin the process of confirming Brett Kavanaugh. Now, right before the Senate Judiciary Committee was to have a vote, miraculously, Dianne Chinese spy Feinstein decided to leak out a letter that was written to her by some supposed anonymous woman from Brett Kavanaugh's past going back to high school, claiming that Brett Kavanaugh held her down and forced himself upon her at a party in high school. And because of this leaked letter that we now know that Dianne Feinstein had been holding on to since July. I mean, Dianne Feinstein, the letter that was released alleging this whole Kavanaugh forcing himself, high school, all that stuff. This broad, this disgusting, despicable heathen, that this fucking Dianne Feinstein, who should be in prison for treason, she released it. And you know what this means, folks? Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that, oh man, this broad, she must be really hurt. Let's just claim she's the victim, which I don't think. I think it's a bunch of shit. But let's just claim this broad that wrote the letter, what the hell's her fucking name? Christine Blasey Ford. Let's just say that it's serious, okay? Then why did Dianne Feinstein wait 3 months to leak this? Secondly, according to the alleged high school sex abuse accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, she claims that she wanted to stay anonymous. She claims that she didn't want to come out and do this. So does that mean that not only was Dianne Feinstein holding on to this letter for 3 months, But does this mean that she actually doxed this Christine Blasey Ford so that they could bring this up as a resistance or obstructionist type of situation against the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation? Now, what I don't like about Dianne Feinstein, first of all, is not only did she hold this and politicized rape, because let's just say for the sake of argument that this is true. I mean, Dianne Feinstein technically politicized rape, used rape as a weapon, as a politicized weapon. Now, aside from the Democrats and Dianne Feinstein doing that, why isn't Dianne Feinstein in fucking jail right now for treason? I mean, have we forgotten that Dianne Feinstein had an office manager, which was also her driver, that was a Chinese spy? Mr. Lowe, yeah. Well, this just goes to show you the double standard that the FBI has when you're a Democrat. You see, the FBI found out that Dianne Feinstein's office manager and her driver was a Chinese spy. And instead of raiding Dianne Feinstein or the spy's place himself or whatever the protocol for investigation, that was completely bypassed because according to reports, the FBI called Dianne Feinstein and gave her the information that her office manager and her driver were Chinese spies. Now, what did Dianne Feinstein do? She quietly allowed this fucking Chinese spy to retire so that the Chinese spy could collect tax-funded pensions. Can you believe this? I mean, this is the double standard that the FBI and the DOJ has. That's why the president is claiming that once he unearths the cancer that is the criminality of the DOJ and the FBI, it's going to be his crowning achievement. People aren't going to believe how goddamn corrupt these people are. But here it is. I mean, you can look up this story for yourself. Dianne Feinstein knowingly had a Chinese spy as her driver and as her office manager, and when the FBI informed her about it, she allowed the Chinese spy to retire so he can collect a tax-funded pension. Now, what's wrong with that picture, folks? Right now, we have a special counsel in Robert Mueller trying to find, after 2 years and over $25 million taxpayer money spent, some Russia-Trump collusion. Here we have Dianne Feinstein not only having a spy, even if she didn't know it, but when she was informed about it by the FBI, she allowed this asshole to retire so he could collect a fucking pension! I mean, isn't that collusion with the fucking Chinese government? Why isn't Dianne Feinstein in fucking prison right now? How come nobody's slapping the cuffs on this old fucking bag? What's wrong with this picture? I mean, this is why these people think they can get away with it, man, because nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody's demanding that Dianne Feinstein go to fucking jail for treason. Nobody's out here putting the information in everybody's face, folks. That's why I keep telling you. You've got to put the information in everybody's face. Nobody, barely anybody knows that Dianne Feinstein had a fucking Chinese spy for her driver and office manager. But the FBI gave her a call. Hey, FBI here. How you doing, Dianne? Yeah, you know, office manager you got here, a part-time driver? Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's a very nice Chinaman. Yeah, well, he's a Chinese spy, and just want to let you know there, Dianne, all right? It's the FBI here, okay? You got a spy, all right? Oh, okay, thank you for calling. I'll make sure to do something about it. The double fucking standard! The double standard! If you're a Democrat, you can get away with murder! You can get away with treason with this fucking corrupt DOJ and FBI! If you're a Democrat, you can get away with murder! You can get away with treason! But if you're a Republican, oh, Jesus Christ. Don't go jaywalking. Jesus Christ. Don't go unpermitted picnicking in a federal park or some shit, these fucking FBI and DOJ assholes will be right up your ass trying to send you to prison. Open your eyes. There's a double standard here. Our fucking DOJ and FBI have been politicized. Our DOJ and FBI have been politically weaponized. How much more fucking evidence do you need? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. There's a double standard in the FBI and the DOJ. It's got to be stopped. It's got to be stopped. And there's got to be enough of us in America to demand it. There's got to be enough of us out here demanding it, damn it. There's not enough. Jesus Christ, there's not enough, man. It's time to wake up, man. It's time to fucking wake up. Anyway, look. Getting back to the Brett Kavanaugh situation. It was Dianne Feinstein that sandbagged this letter for 3 months right before the confirmation was about to head into a vote in the committee. She decides to release this, and now we're in this predicament. I mean, I don't know what fuck. It doesn't matter what mainstream media you're looking at. Everybody's treating this like some big, huge mumbo-jumbo story. I mean, look, I want to be honest with you, okay? And this is me, okay? You can love me, hate me for this. I don't give a shit. I'm telling you how it is. This broad, Christine Blasey Ford, okay? I'm going to say it, and I don't give a shit if anybody... I don't care if anybody's pissed off about it or not, okay? Even if this broad, Christine Blasey Ford, got raped at a party 35 years ago in high school, so fucking what? All right? So fucking what? I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. 35 years... You're holding on to this? 35 years? You're sitting here holding this in as if it was some big traumatic experience? She can't even explain where she was. She was drinking, etc. I mean, what is this? Do you understand, folks, that Brett Kavanaugh is the epitome of what you would want as a pedigree of a Supreme Court justice? This guy's a family man, he's a conservative, etc. And because some dunce in high school is claiming that, oh, he forced himself upon me at a party and, it hurt me. You know what? So what? All right? I'm sorry. 35 years. I mean, first of all, this is high school, man. I mean, even if you get busted for some things as a juvenile, aren't they supposed to seal your record after you're 18 anyway? I mean, seriously, man. I mean, we have a fucking, we got a goddamn, district attorney that's about to leave out here in San Antonio. We got a district attorney out here who got busted when he was a teenager. He's a fucking district attorney in San Antonio now. He got busted selling ecstasy when he was a teenager. He was a big-time gangbanger. What the fuck is his name? Nico, I forgot his fucking name. It doesn't even matter. He's not even a fucking DA anymore anyway. But, I mean, the point is that aren't we supposed to kind of overlook what happened in high school? Isn't that why there's a juvenile hall detention center? Isn't that why we separate fucking juveniles from adults? Because juveniles aren't an adult. They're technically their parents' property. That's why whenever you're sentenced or whenever you get caught, doing something naughty when you're a teenager and you're busted by the cops, what do? What do? They just release you to your parents. That's what they do. Because you are your parents' property. I hate to say this for you kids that are under the age of 18. You are your parents' property, okay? I want you all to know this. If you don't believe me, ask all child actors who got screwed out of their money because their parents blew it all, and it was legal for their parents to do it. It was legal for their parents to do it. So anyway, look, aside from that, these people are teenagers. It was 35 years ago. I mean, I'm sorry. You know what, Christine Blasey Ford, all right? I'm sorry, but you are not going to pass go. You're not going to collect $200 on this. I mean, I can't believe we've got people trying to consider this a legitimate accusation. 35 years, and the way it was brought out, it was brought out in an anonymous letter that was delivered to Feinstein in July. She kept it until the last minute before the fucking confirmation vote in the Judiciary Committee. Come on, man. And you know what makes me sick is the Democrats are trying to be moralists as it relates to this. The party of Bill Clinton, okay, trying to be moralists as it relates to this. And meanwhile, guess what? Their former party chairman, the deputy chairman of the Democratic Party, Keith Ellison, have y'all heard about this? Of course not. Keith Ellison has been accused by not only his ex-girlfriend, but his ex-girlfriend's son, that this guy was beating her ass on a consistent basis. All right? Now, have we heard anything about Keith Ellison and an FBI investigation? Because, look, this fucking stupid Democrats, they're like, we need to have an FBI investigation because this is a very serious charge. This bitch got supposedly fondled or raped or whatever 35 years ago when she was a kid. I mean, are you kidding me? You couldn't come out in your 20s, you know? I mean, and by the way, folks, this broad, Christine Blasey Ford, she's a psychologist. She's a psychologist, okay? She's supposed to be educated in the processes of grieving and other emotions. I mean, are you shitting me? Yeah, she's not only is she a psychologist, she's a California college professor. I mean, come on, man. Come on! And you know something, folks? This sets a very dangerous precedent. First of all, by the Republicans allowing the Democrats to legitimize this shit and politicize rape, this fucking really sets a bad precedent. Because now how far are they going to go back? How far are they going to go back? Are they going to go back to elementary school? Yeah, you know, Ghost, he accidentally, when we were playing tag, he popped me in the pussy, and I felt really, you know, violated about that, and he violated me, and he raped me. I mean, how far back are we going to go, man? I mean, folks, Brett Kavanaugh is like the epitome of what you would want to be put in a position like the Supreme Court. And the best they can come up with is some fucking leftist kookster out of California, some stupid psychologist, Christine Blasey Ford, claiming that she got fucking fondled. She can't even remember! She can't even remember what party she was at, who was there. She can't remember shit! Who's going to want to run for office anymore, you know? Seriously, who's going to want to run for office when anyone in your past that hates you? I mean, let's just say you had a bad breakup with some broad, right? I mean, breakups aren't good. Let's say you had a bad breakup with a broad when you were in your 20s, you know, when you were trying to figure out whether or not you were going to be serious or something. I mean, this broad can come out and just say anything, man. I am so tired of this Me Too bullshit. I'm not even kidding around. I mean, even people on the left, I even heard Sean Penn say, oh, look, enough of this Me Too shit, all right? Enough of this shit. I mean, enough of it, man. Enough. All right, I'm going to explain something to you women, okay? You want to know what rape is? I'll tell you what rape is. Rape is when you're about to open up your house and then somebody, as you're opening the door, pushes you into the house, locks your door behind you, and begins to beat the shit out of you, rip your clothes off, and you unwillingly allow him to, you know, whatever. I mean, that's rape, folks. When you're being stalked and sought after, and, you know, you're just being, you know, like prey. I want to be honest with you. I am tired of these women claiming they got raped when they went up to some guy's room, or they went into some guy's house, or they went into... I mean, I'm not joking around, folks. I mean, look, if you're a woman, and if you put yourself in a precarious situation in which you can put yourself into danger that you can't get yourself out of, well, then whose fault is it? I mean, it's like this. You could say the same thing for guys that go to bars in unscrupulous areas. You know, like, hey, you know, why'd you go to that bar? There's nothing but a bunch of lowlifes over there. You know you're going to get into a fucking fight. Look at these fucking people. Look at them. They don't even like their lives. That's why they're getting drunk. What the hell were you doing there? You know, all that shit. I mean, what are you women doing in the situations that you're crying Me Too? Some of you women now are claiming that this Me Too nonsense happens like after one or two times of being penetrated, and you're like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired of this shit. I'm so tired of the Me Too movement. I'm so tired of this crap. If you want my opinion, so what if fucking Christine Blasey Ford got herself a little forced on in high school? If it really bothered her and it was a real traumatic experience, then why didn't she say something within that decade, okay? How about that? I'm not saying to say it right away because, I'm scared and I don't know what they'd say about me and, oh my God. How about that decade, you fucking cunt? How about that, you fucking leftist professor, psychologist, stupid, dumb idiot? How about within that decade, you tell a psychologist, since you're going to school for it, why don't you do that? 10 years, a decade from when it happened. Because it's bullshit. Because this is a fucking lie and everybody knows it. But it fucking pisses me off that the Republicans are even pandering to this shit. It's obvious this is a political stunt. But we're all, we have to make sure she testifies. And it fucking got Grassley, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Well, I want to make sure that she's okay. And we're going to have her come down here on Monday. And, we're going to make sure she's okay. We're going to have a public meeting or a private meeting. It doesn't really matter. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I'm not even kidding me. I don't really give a shit, man. I mean, 35 years. This shit happened in high school. I mean, even if it happened, and even if statute of limitations doesn't, because the statute of limitations is done, you can't prosecute anything for this, even if it did happen. But let's say there is no statute of limitations. This happened when they were juveniles. When they were juveniles. So you would have to prosecute this as if they were juveniles, not adults. So, I mean, for the Democrats crying that, we need the FBI, why do you think they keep calling for the FBI? How come you think the Democrats keep crying for the FBI? The president is about to declassify documents showing that the FBI and the DOJ were politicized by the Democrats. It makes no fucking coinkydink that they want the FBI to investigate this. And I feel bad for Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh is the true fucking victim in all this, because here we have, in the Democrat side, look him up, Keith Ellison. This guy is the deputy, or was the deputy chairman of the whole Democratic Party. Keith Ellison. He was recently, and I reported this a few weeks ago, he was alleged that he was a wife beater, a girlfriend abuser. This is corroborated by her son. And the girlfriend is claiming that she's got videotapes showing Keith Ellison slapping her around, kind of roughing her up, Ike Turner style. Now, how come the Democrats aren't staunch about an investigation into Keith Ellison? How come they're not demanding a FBI investigation into Keith Ellison? Guess what Keith Ellison is running for right now? Keith Ellison is running for the state of Minnesota's Attorney General. How come it's okay for Keith Ellison to just kind of bypass and not even have to answer for the allegations against him? And this is coming from two corroborated first-hand witnesses. And this is the girlfriend and her son. How come we're not talking about this? How come there's no FBI investigation about this? I mean, this underscores the hypocrisy of the Democrats. And whenever you see these fucking Democrats on the TV saying, oh, well, we have to be concerned about Christine Blasey Ford. It's her allegation. We should treat her with kid gloves when it comes to Brett Kavanaugh. We need to roll the red carpet out for her. Don't you understand that? This is what these fucking Democrats are saying for the past 24 hours on the mainstream media. What about Keith Ellison? This man is running for the Attorney General of Minnesota, for Christ's sake. How come Keith Ellison gets a mulligan when there is way more abuse allegations than what the fuck is being alleged in a 35-year allegation against Brett Kavanaugh? Keith Ellison is running for fucking Attorney General of Minnesota. The hypocrisy of Democrats, folks. The hypocrisy. The Democrats are the party of Bill Clinton, for Christ's sake. Juanita Broderick. Nobody cared about Juanita Broderick. Nobody cared about Kathleen Willey. Nobody cared about all this. Remember how they justified it in the 90s? Oh, well, that's Bill Clinton. Hey, we shouldn't be worried about what's happening in his personal life. Don't remember that. I sure as hell fucking remember it. Oh, don't worry. Hey, you know, boys will be boys, you know. And now all of a sudden the Democrats are the moralists. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Anyway, let me move on. I mean, I could talk about this hypocrisy of the Democrats all night. But what about Keith Ellison? You know, why can't we have some investigation into Keith Ellison over here? When Keith Ellison was asked about, hey, what about these allegations? He just said, look, I'm not worried about that right now, you know what I'm saying? What I'm going to do, we're just going to keep on campaigning of it, motherfucker. We'll have a statement out in due time about that, man. But right now, I'm doing my Attorney General campaigning thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm Keith Ellison. Gee. Jesus Christ, man. I'm sorry, folks, man. How in the fuck can anybody in their right mind in this current day and age vote Democrat after all this? After all the hypocrisy, contradictions, lies, slander, fake news. I mean, how can anyone still vote Democrat? I just can't. I don't understand it. I mean, as corrupt as these Democrats are, is that what our population who votes for these people truly are? Do we have this many corrupt and criminal people within our society? I mean, I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking, man. Anyway, I'm just saying, man. I mean, this should piss everybody off. It shouldn't just piss me off. It should piss you off! I mean, did you see the fucked up political theater in this fucking Brett Kavanaugh confirmation? And who are these people that are making the biggest noise? Remember that idiot Blumenthal from Connecticut? We have to make sure the FBI investigate. You know what I'm talking about? Blumenthal, right? You know that this asshole out of Connecticut, he was found to be stolen valor. He claimed that he was in Vietnam when he never spent 1 second in Vietnam. And you know what? The idiots in Connecticut, and by the way, Connecticut, fuck you, you fucking dumb pieces of shit. You people are idiots. The people of Connecticut still voted this moron in. People of Connecticut still voted this moron in, even though he was blatantly caught lying about being in Vietnam. And this guy has the audacity to be some fucking moral judge. That's why I keep telling you, if you're a Democrat in this modern day and age, you're anti-American scum. You hate this country. You hate American law-abiding citizens. And you should be spit on by American law-abiding citizens. I'm not even kidding around. I mean, what do the Democrats come out and become most vocally for. They only come out if you're an illegal immigrant, a criminal, or if you're promoting the sexualization of children. That's it. That's the only time Democrats come out and get most vocal. Isn't that right? Huh? They don't care about law-abiding citizens. As a matter of fact, Democrats think that illegal immigrants that come into this country illegally supersede the relevance of law-abiding citizens. And how do I judge that? Based on their actions, folks. Based on their fucking actions. Wake up! Wake up! Jesus Christ. Anyway, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we move on to anything else, I'd like to remind everybody this is, I'd like to remind everybody to please, I was going to say the number of the episode. It's 618, but spread the fucking link is what I meant to say, all right? Sorry, multitasking here. Spread this show link around like wildfire, baby. This is the underground of the internet. All right, so go out there, spread this show link around like wildfire. All right, the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is the following, ghost.report, all right? It's as simple as that. Add that to your bookmarks, add that to your favorites. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Spread that around like wildfire. And by the way, folks, we're going to be putting up some new merch here in the next couple of days on Ghost.market. And if you have not seen Ghost.market, check out some Ghost.report merch. Check out some True Capitalist Radio merch. Check out some Russian hacker merch, baby. Check out Remove Kebab merch. There's going to be some more merch posted. So keep your eyes posted. Ghost.market is what you type in your browser. Add that to your bookmarks. Add that to your favorites. Ghost.market is the official website for the marketplace of True Capitalist Radio. Now that I got that all out of the way, let me go ahead and remind everybody to please follow me on Gab, baby. Follow me on Gab. All right, it's my only social media representation on the internets today. If you see somebody claiming to be on another internet social media site, it's fake and gay. All right? It's fake and gay. All right? Anyway, let's continue. Oh, yeah, Politics Ghost. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab. And by the way, you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast chat room, all you've got to do is click the subscribe button for premium content. Click the subscribe button for premium content. Once you do, go ahead and send me a private message on Gab. Let me know your Discord chat name, and I'll be making sure to hook you up with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all right? All right, now, I'm going to move on from the Democrats, the party of Bill Slick Willie Clinton, becoming moralists as it relates to this fucking political pathetic theater that's called the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation. And I want to talk a little bit about Paul Manafort. Now, you've got all medias out here talking about how Paul Manafort is the hammer that's dropping on the Trump administration, and oh my God, Paul Manafort, he knows where the bodies are buried, or whatever the media is trying to convey. And for those that don't know, Paul Manafort pled guilty and is going to turn state's evidence not in the Robert Mueller investigation. No. And you see, that's what the media is not telling you. They're saying that he's making a deal with Mueller, but he's not going to make a deal with the Robert Mueller special counsel. He's making a deal with the Southern District of New York, the federal court of the Southern District of New York. Now, why is this important? Why is this such an important distinction? Because for some reason, I have no idea, Robert Mueller referred to these foreign agent inquiries to the Southern District of New York. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that these foreign agent inquiries that I'm talking about are individuals like Paul Manafort, Tony and John Podesta, and other types of consultants, political consultants that consult for other countries outside the United States. And if you politically consult for countries outside the United States, you are legally obligated to register yourself as a foreign agent with the United States government. Now, Robert Mueller, for whatever reason, forwarded all these foreign agent inquiries to the Southern District of New York's federal courts. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, since Paul Manafort turned state's evidence in the Southern District Court of New York, or the Southern District of New York Federal Court, what are they investigating? What is the Southern District Court of New York doing? Well, if you want my personal opinion, folks, I think that Paul Manafort is going to be used as state's evidence against a couple of different people. But right now, two individuals that are in the crosshairs of the Southern District of New York. Now, if you could look up former Obama White House counsel Greg Craig. Now, the former White House counsel to Obama, Greg Craig, if you want my opinion, I'm a prognosticator, will be indicted with Tony Podesta, because both of these individuals, specifically Tony Podesta, was doing the same Ukrainian work as Paul Manafort. As a matter of fact, they were working together. And remember, I always bring that up in reference to Robert Mueller's special counsel. And I also bring up the fact, every time when I talk about Robert Mueller's special counsel, why isn't Tony and John Podesta being prosecuted for not registering as foreign agents? Well, if you want my personal opinion, folks, I think that the Southern District of New York is about to indict a whole bunch of people. They're going to indict Obama's White House counsel, Greg Craig. They're going to indict Tony Podesta. And if you want my opinion, that's why James Comey and Andrew McCabe have been very quiet as of late. Because Paul Manafort, what does he know about any kind of Russia-Trump collusion? There is none. And if there was, it would have been brought up in the first trial that Robert Mueller's special counsel prosecuted, which is the one that was in Washington, D.C. And remember, lest we forget that for whatever reason, Robert Mueller filed two separate cases in two different districts in relation to the Manafort case. Manafort was found guilty of 10 of the 18 charges in one federal district in Washington, D.C., and now he has pled guilty to turn state's evidence in the Southern District of New York. And if you want my opinion, I think that it comes down to Paul Manafort having all the 411 on Greg Craig, Tony Podesta, and everyone else that has the true collusion with Russia. Everyone else that has the true skeletons in the closet, if you will. And I don't think that Paul Manafort turning state's evidence hurts Donald Trump one bit. All right? I don't think that it hurts Donald Trump one bit. Because lest we forget, folks, Manafort played a very small role in the 2016 Trump campaign. I mean, lest we forget that he was brought on board by Roger Stone so that Donald Trump could gather the delegates so he could be the GOP presidential nominee. And that's what Paul Manafort delivered. That's what he delivered. I mean, I think that Paul Manafort was on the damn campaign no more than 3 months tops. So this is why I'm saying there is no Russia-Trump connection. So what is Paul Manafort pleading guilty to, and who is he turning state's evidence for? In my opinion, I think it's the former White House counsel, Greg Craig. Be expecting White House counsel for Obama, Greg Craig, to be under indictment. Now, when they have Greg Craig, since he was former Obama's White House counsel, could he be the connection to what was happening with the conspiracy that is the Russia-Trump investigation? I mean, is he a true connection to the collusion with Russia and the Democrats? Could Greg Craig give the 411 on why James Comey and McCabe in the FBI gave a lackadaisical approach to the Hillary Clinton email investigation and yet pulled out all stops as it relates to this Russia-Trump investigation? I have no idea. But in my view, folks, I think that Paul Manafort turning state's evidence is probably not against Trump. I think it's against more of the Southern District's foreign agent inquiry prosecutions. And I think that we're going to see White House counsel Greg Craig and Tony Podesta indicted. And from what I understand, there is a grand jury out. So we shall see. Mark my words. Let's see if I'm the prognosticator or prognosticator, baby. All right, let's see if White House former counsel of Obama, Greg Craig, and Tony Podesta are indicted, baby. Let's just see. Let's just see. I'm the prognosticator of prognosticators, right? Let's see what happens. Oh, Jesus Christ. Give me my soda. All right. We're now in the third hour. Let's go ahead and get into some international relations news. Did y'all hear what's happening in North and South Korea? North and South Korea have had a second public meeting in North Korea. And they signed a pledge of peace. I mean, it is just getting better and better with the Koreas, man. I mean, did you all see the pomp and circumstance that... I mean, remember, this was Moon, the head of state of South Korea, went to North Korea. And North Korea put all the red carpets, you know, the troops. It was a pretty festive event, to say the least. And lest we forget, folks, what has been proposed out of here. After this meeting between North and South Korea, Kim Jong-un has said that he is open to United Nations inspectors and inspectors from the IAEA, the International Atomic and Energy Agency, to inspect North Korea. I mean, let me tell you, I know that's just words. But if Kim Jong-un allows inspections from the IAEA and the United Nations, that is almost unprecedented at this point, because it's taken... I mean, when did they stop the inspectors from inspecting their nuclear reactors? I think it was 1999. 1999 is when the North Koreans kicked out the IAEA and the UN inspectors, and I mean, it's almost 2019. So you do the math. But once again, this is very promising what's happening in North Korea. And I agree with the president, and I'm glad that he keeps ringing it up, that, hey, remember, we were supposed to have some kind of nuclear war with North Korea. People were all getting scared and getting uppity that, oh my God, I'm going to start a war from Twitter and all this other shit. Look at what's happening right now in the Korean Peninsula. Take a look at what's happening, man. I mean, this is the most we've gotten close to peace in this peninsula, in this region, since 1999. Probably even before that, if you want my opinion. Now, not only did Kim Jong-un allude to the fact that he's open to allowing UN and IAEA inspectors in North Korea, but Kim Jong-un publicly praised Trump for him stabilizing the Korean Peninsula. Can you believe that? And look, this is a big deal for some big despot dictator like Kim Jong-un to publicly say and praise specifically a United States president in his own country. So, at a very slow pace, we are seeing a peaceful situation come out in the Korean Peninsula, man. And I just don't understand. Where's the media on this? I mean, there's so much good news happening. There's so many good things happening in Trump's America, and yet all we are fed on a 24-hour basis from these lamestream media outlets is nothing but slanderous lies, a bunch of fake news. I mean, how come they're not talking about the potential peace that's happening here in the Korean Peninsula? I mean, even Kim Jong-un had to come out publicly in his own country praising Trump for what he has done to stabilize the region. But is he going to get that kind of props from the mainstream media? Is he going to get that kind of props from a bipartisan establishment? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. And I think it's sad, and it just underscores when our president, Donald Trump, always emphasizes fake news and he points to the mainstream media. This is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about out here. I mean, we're talking about a 35-year-old allegation from a potential Supreme Court nominee that happened in fucking high school the whole day today. Meanwhile, North and South Korea, they're signing peace deals together. Kim Jong-un is open to allowing UN inspectors and IAEA inspectors into his goddamn country to inspect for nuclear weapons. You've got Kim Jong-un publicly praising Trump. I mean, come on, man. Where is the mainstream media on this? Because isn't that what the media is supposed to do? Isn't it supposed to inform you? There's no informing on the mainstream media, folks. They are just trying to carve out your narrative. They're trying to suggest things to you. They're not informing you. Because if they were informing you, they'd be informing you this. Because they sure were informing you about the potential nuclear doom that our president could be tweeting our way into, right? What a bunch of crap. What a bunch of crap. Remember? Oh, man, he's talking to Kim Jong-un very badly. He's talking about his little button. Oh, my God, his little button. Don't call his button little. Don't call his button little, you jerk. I mean, don't you understand? This is the art of the deal right in front of your faces, man. This is why we needed a capitalist in the White House. This is why. So once again, the Korean Peninsula is stabilized. There is no ballistic missile testing. There is no nuclear testing anymore. And it's all because of Trump's diplomacy. Remember, that's what Obama ran on back in 2008 and 2009. Remember that? Hey, elect me. The world will love me. Remember, that's what he fucking ran on. Hey, I'm Mr. Diplomat. Go ahead and elect me. I'm a mulatto. They'll love me. I mean, I'm not kidding. And here you have Donald Trump, man, in his second year, stabilizing the North Korean Peninsula, or the Korean Peninsula, excuse me, something that Obama didn't even want to acknowledge his entire 2 tenures as president. You know that? Every time Korea would throw another missile in the air or do a nuclear test, Obama wouldn't say a thing about it. He wouldn't even talk about it. Because he was a fucking grade A power bottom pussy. That's why. And by the way, the Secretary of State, Pompeo, he has already told the North Koreans and has given them a timetable at this point. Because everybody's been critical. Well, yeah, Ghost, you're seeing a lot of stuff from Kim Jong-un, but, when is he really going to denuclearize? Huh? I mean, when are we going to have a legitimate commitment here? Well, Secretary of State Pompeo has already given a timeline that the United States seeks the denuclearization of North Korea by 2021. That's the timeline, folks. All right? That is the timeline. Secretary of State Pompeo has now given the North Koreans in an attempt at denuclearization of the North Korean area. So things are getting a little serious out here. I mean, why are you not hearing this in the media, folks? Because the media is too busy hyper-sensationalizing a bunch of emotional bullshit. That's all. They're a part of this so-called resistance, which is a fucking joke. I'm a part of the resistance. Yay! I'm a part of the resistance. Yay! Fucking tards. Anyway, thank God that there is stabilization in the Korean Peninsula. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Anyway, let's move on. Do y'all remember Brexit? You know? I mean, do y'all remember Brexit? I barely remember it, for Christ's sake. Well, anyway, folks, I think we all remember Brexit. And for you, folks that don't know, it was the referendum vote that happened back in 2016 in which it allowed every person in the UK to vote on whether or not they wanted the UK to stay in the EU or to leave the EU. Now, the vote culminated in most people in Britannia wanting to leave the EU. Now, what I've been very critical about as it relates to Brexit is the fact that once Theresa May took over for Dave Cameron, and you take a look at her history and the fact that she was always a Remainer, she's half commie, wannabe conservative, you knew that something was not going to happen. I mean, I had said, and y'all can look back in the archive if you don't believe me, that Theresa May was going to do nothing more than kick the can down the road so far that most of us would forget about Brexit, and we may even have another vote on the first vote. You know, like a second referendum. And guess what? Guess who's calling for a second referendum of Brexit? None other than the mayor of London Stan himself, Sadiq Khan. That's right. Sadiq Khan is calling for a new referendum vote in the midst of this Brexit negotiation. And that's why I'm bringing this up, folks, because I'm tired of hearing, oh, we don't know if we're going to get a soft Brexit. Oh, we don't know if we're going to get a hard Brexit. How about who gives a shit Brexit? How about that? I mean, what's so confusing about this crap? Either you're out or you're in the EU. What the fuck's up with this hard and soft Brexit crap? How about, hey, our people voted that they don't want to be a part of this unelected bullshit little union that you have fucking infringed upon us. We're out of here, all right? We're out. All right? Fuck the free movement. Our shores and our fisheries are our shores and our fisheries, and if you don't like it, well, then we're going to have to come to the negotiating table at that time. Or we're going to have a fucking confrontation. We're going to have a problem. I mean, I don't understand. Right when Brexit happened, I don't understand why Theresa May just said, you know what, fuck EU. I'm going to have bilateral trade agreements with the US, and I'll go to Japan, and I'll go to all these places have bilateral trade agreements, so you don't even need the EU. I don't understand. I'm going to be honest with you. This Brexit bullshit is such a bunch of bureaucratic mumbo-jumbo that it doesn't make any sense to anybody. I mean, I'm actually trying to look at commentators in the fucking UK trying to describe this crap. It's all a bunch of bureaucratic mumbo-jumbo, man. Oh, you know, Article 50, and oh, we got to invoke Article 50 and Article this and who gives a shit? Who gives a crap? I don't understand why the UK is even putting up with this game. I mean, who gives a shit about a fucking soft or hard Brexit? How about being Britannia? I mean, wasn't this the same country that almost took over the world, for Christ's sake? And what? You're sitting here playing fucking bureaucratic patty cake with some unelected governing body that usurped your goddamn sovereignty? I don't understand. And nobody from Britannia can explain it to me because they don't even fucking understand it. But what did I tell you, folks? What did I tell you? That this dumb Theresa May, man, what an incompetent piece of trash, Theresa May. What an incompetent piece of low-grade, looks like a wicked witch of the fucking West trash. But, I mean, you know, Theresa May, I knew right when she got in that this damn broad, what was she going to do? She was going to kick the can down the road. She's going to kick the Brexit can down the road, and now what? No one's going to leave. You're not going to leave, UK. And as a matter of fact, you've got more people now, according to polls, that actually want to stay instead of leaving. You've actually got a little bit of a poll out there suggesting that they would like a second referendum vote. I don't know what you guys are doing in UK, but man, what a shame. You know? What a shame. This was the goddamn country that damn near took over the world out here, and they can't even negotiate their way out of a bureaucratic system that just usurped their sovereignty. I mean, you know that, right? I mean, the EU was nothing more than it was supposed to be intended as a fucking, as an economic agreement. And then it evolved. It evolved, and now it's its own country. And now it's allowing migrants to come in so that it can ethnically cleanse all the member states that comprise the EU. So it can become a super state. So it can't have these Brexits or what's happening right now in Hungary or what's happening in Poland. They don't want that to happen with its member states. So that was a plan for using the migrants to go in and eliminate the cultures, eliminate the races of these member states, so that the EU becomes the supra authority. We have been talking about this for fucking years. I mean, the EU is seeking its own army. The EU is seeking its own nuclear weapons. It's trying to make itself a super socialist, quasi-communist nation state. What do I keep telling you? It's a communist idea. What was the last country to call itself a union? The Soviet Union, okay? The first communist nation state. So, I mean, I'm just saying, man, I don't know what the hell you people are going to do. I don't understand what's going to happen in this Brexit. Oh, you know, hard Brexit, you know, soft Brexit. How about it to tell the EU, piss off Brexit? How about that? Jesus Christ. I would hate to be a fucking Brit right now. I'm not even joking. You know, now, ever since Brexit, I don't know if, I'm sure you Brits know, but ever since Brexit, the UK has gotten more and more incrementally totalitarian. I mean, now you got to watch what you say on the internet, or you could get a knock on your door by the authorities. You better not criticize Theresa May. You better not criticize the immigration policy. You better not criticize Sadiq Khan. You know, folks, that now in the UK you have to have some kind of a internet ID to look at pornographic material? I mean, this is the culmination of what happened after Brexit. The authorities are punishing you people, and all you're doing is just sitting on your thumbs, allowing the authorities to do what it's doing to you. And meanwhile, the problems that they brought into the country, a.k.a. the migrant crisis, the problems they brought into the country, they're now committing terrorist acts, and they're punishing you. They're punishing the citizens. They're not punishing the migrants that are coming in and making these European countries terrorist cesspools. They're not blaming them. They're blaming the citizens. And they're bringing in more and more totalitarianism on the citizens. And you know what? I don't know if Europe is going to wake up. I don't know if Europe is going to wake up. I don't know if it can wake up. I don't know if it has the will to wake up. And I know there's people in the EU that's like, you know what, Ghost, what are you proposing we reckon we do? What is it you reckon we do there, Ghost? Why don't you do what the Yehudis are doing, you fucking pussies? I mean, why do you think that the EU and all these European countries are bowing down to Yehudis? Because they're violent! They're scared! That's why they pussy pamper their little fucking culture. That's why they're like, oh, you know, don't be disrespectful now to the Muslim. You know, you be disrespectful to the Muslim, and they're going to cause the terrorism, and it's going to be your fault. It's going to be your fault because you caused them to do the terrorism. I'm not joking. I mean, why don't you do what the fucking Yehudi does, for Christ's sake, man? I mean, folks, I'm talking to you people in Europe. If you continue to do absolutely nothing, your fucking countries are gone in 5 years. Your countries are gone. You're gone. The concepts of your histories, your culture is going to be gone. And why is this happening? Because that is what is written in Karl Marx's Manifesto of Communism. It's written in the Manifesto of Communism to eliminate culture, to eliminate race, to eliminate nationalism. And that is what has been done in the EU. And most of the folks that have been subjected to this subversive coercion don't even know it. They don't even know it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm trying. I'm trying to let everybody know out there who's listening, wake up! It's time to be politically serious. Because if you're not going to be politically serious, no governing authority is going to take you serious. I mean, why do you think they take the Yehudi serious? I'm telling you, give me another explanation why. Give me another explanation why everybody treats Yehudis, jihadists, Muslims with kid gloves. Why is it? They're fucking violent. You understand? Oh, no, don't make fun of the Muslims. Oh, don't draw a picture of Muhammad. Oh, don't do it. Get the fuck out of here! Are you kidding me? Where's the spirit of Europe? Where are the spirit of the people, of the cultures, of the history of these people? Where are you? Why don't some of you grow some fucking balls and do something? You're fucking allowing your country to be taken over. You're allowing it. You're allowing it. You're allowing the pillaging and the raping of your fucking people, and you're just sitting there whacking off behind a fucking lampshade like a cook. What the fuck's your problem, Europe? What the fuck's your problem? Oh. I don't know, man. It's sad to look at from a third-party perspective over here across the pond, Europe, all right? It's hard to look at from a third-party perspective. Because, by God, if something like that happens here in America, we ain't going to just sit on our thumbs. We're going to rise up. We ain't going to let that fucking socialist shit take over control of America again. Absolutely not. Fucking death to socialism, death to communism. Do you understand me? There is no legitimizing socialism. There is no legitimizing communism. The only good communist, the only good socialist is a dead communist and a dead socialist, and that's all there is to it. And that's what we should be preaching here in America. There should be no fucking reason that socialists think they can be so brazen and be out publicly claiming they're socialist. Not in America, for Christ's sake. I never thought I'd see a fucking America where you got socialists out of... Yeah, I'm from the Democratic Socialists of America. I'm running for office. Even though I don't know shit. Give me a break, man. Oh, I can't believe I'm living in this America. But at least we're trying to fight. At least voting in Donald Trump was our last stand. It was our last stand against these globalists. And who are the globalists, folks? Well, the same people that are consolidating the countries in the EU. The same people that are consolidating the countries in Africa. Look it up for yourself. The African Union was just created about a few months ago. Look it up! What do you think the TPP, or whatever the fuck it was called, that stupid little agreement that Barack Obama and the Democrats and all these establishment assholes wanted us to sign, which could have literally given up our sovereignty? Nuh-uh. This is America, damn it. This is America, and I am sure as hell not going to allow American sovereignty to be given up to a bunch of fucking foreign pieces of trash. That's not what our forefathers died for. That's not what our forefathers left us the Constitution for. Nuh-uh. And like I've told each and every one of you Americans that are listening to me, you're living, if you're in America, you're living in the last stand of freedom in the world. This is the last stand of freedom in the world. Look at how they're cracking down on freedom all over the Western civilization. I just told you about the UK. It's a damn police state. It's a totalitarian police state. Take a look at other parts of Europe. Only in America can you still be like Ghost here. I mean, listen to me. I'm saying all kinds of controversial political things. I can still say them freely. We still live in a country that obliges the freedom of speech. I'm not going to have my door knocked on by authorities taking me away in a van because of what I say. You understand? I'm not going to be questioned by some authority because I don't like the immigration policy of this country. I'm not going to have some authority come into my door because I don't like the politic that is being subjected on the people. Do you understand? God damn it! This is why us Americans have to continue fighting at all costs, or we're going to lose this freedom. We're going to lose this last bastion of freedom. My God! By God! Unless we fucking continue to take our responsibility. Because we have a responsibility in America, damn it. Because this is a government made for the people and by the people. But you got to start acting like it, damn it. You got to start taking politics serious. More serious than your fucking Fortnite game. More serious than your Rick and Morty cartoon and your anime bullshit. You understand that, millennials? Fucking faggots. Anyway, let me move on to the last subject matter of the broadcast, all right? Let's talk a little bit about Syria. Now, you all remember me on Friday saying that everybody needs to take a look at this Idlib province, remember? That there was an impending attack that was going to happen on the Idlib that was going to involve Russia, Bashar al-Assad's troops, and Iran. And I said that this is a very weird situation happening. And then, miraculously, it didn't happen because Turkey decided to deploy massive amounts of troops on its borders, which kind of spooked Russia on what the hell Turkey was going to do if the joint attack of Russia, Iran, and Bashar al-Assad's troops happened in the Idlib province. Now, believe it or not, the Idlib attack has been averted because Russia went as far as to sitting down with Erdogan, Turkey's Erdogan. Vladimir Putin and Turkey's Erdogan had a meeting yesterday, and they came to an agreement. So they still haven't raided and attacked the Idlib province because of Turkey. Now, what's the agreement between Russia and Turkey? The agreement is, and this was negotiated by Putin and Erdogan himself, they pledged to create a demilitarized zone from which the radical rebels are going to be told to withdraw, and they've got a month to do so. So basically, you know, this is I wouldn't call this a deal. I would call this more of a kicking the can down the road situation again here, because I mean, what's happening is instead of allowing the attack by Russia, Iran, and Bashar al-Assad's troops, Turkey is claiming that they themselves will aid in the process of the demilitarized zone and the forced withdrawal of the radical rebels within the Idlib province. Now, what's tricky about Turkey's pledge to rid the demilitarized zone area of radical rebels is that there's a fine, weird line of what Turkey interprets as a rebel. Because Turkey, believe it or not, has said in this same agreement that it will allow moderates, quote unquote, to keep their weapons and arms. Now, what the hell is a moderate compared to a rebel in the Idlib province? I mean, who the fuck knows? I mean, who the hell knows? That's why I keep telling everybody to keep an eye on Idlib. Because we got a classic Mexican stand. I mean, there's so many fucking countries in Syria right now, and they're all holding a gun at each other's heads. It's a classic Mexican standoff. Now, another reason why Turkey wanted to sit down with Vladimir Putin in an attempt to try to remedy this pending attack on Idlib was the fact that if the Russians and the Iranians and Bashar al-Assad's troops attacked Idlib, there would have been an estimated 3 million people that would have been displaced, and it would have been a bad refugee. You thought the migrant crisis was bad, all right? That would have been 3 million people displaced, and they're going to go right to Turkey. That's the nearest border. And the last thing Turkey needs right now is more fucking people, all right? I mean, they're suffering through an economic depression right now. So that was another reason why Turkey deployed so many goddamn troops to its border when the threat of the impending attack by Russia, Iran, and Bashar al-Assad's troops was threatening the Idlib province. So that's why Turkey negotiated. They were like, we don't want another 3 million people. So Russia and Turkey got together yesterday, and they made this agreement. Putin and Erdogan themselves. Now, who else is in Syria, folks? That, for whatever reason, I don't know whose side they're on. Israel. That's right. Israel's in there, and it's attacking Iranian positions. It's attacking certain Bashar al-Assad positions. And guess what? It wasn't but a few hours after it was announced that Putin and Erdogan had agreed to this demilitarized zone, and Turkey agreed to supposedly deploying more troops to take out the radical component in Idlib, in the demilitarized zone, and allow the moderates to keep their weapons or what. It's a weird agreement. Doesn't make any fucking sense. But Israel obviously did not like it. Israel didn't like it, folks, because Israel, a mere hours after the agreement between Russia and Turkey, Israel shoots down an IL-20 reconnaissance plane. That was Russian, of course, a Russian IL-20 reconnaissance plane, and it killed 15 Russian personnel. Yeah, Israel shot it down. Now, according to reports, when it first was reported, they claimed that Syria shot it down. Yeah, but Russia came out and said that it was Israel, and that Israel should have known better, because within minutes of them, I guess they were throwing anti-aircraft in the area in an attempt to air raid Bashar al-Assad's troops. They purposely, according to Russia's, one of Russia's officials commanding this thing, that Israel kind of indirectly put Russia into a friendly fire situation. And that, they should apologize for it, yada, yada. But let's be honest, man. I mean, I've always told you that Vladimir Putin, he is kissing the ring of fucking Netanyahu. I mean, all you got to do is do a Google search, Putin and Netanyahu, and take a look at how many pictures of them, how many times Netanyahu's been to Russia, how many times that, Putin has kissed the six-pointed star on this guy's hand. I mean, all that shit. I mean, that's why nothing is going to happen. And to be honest with you, I think Israel spanked Russia and said, hey, Russia, you're not in charge of the Syrian situation. Even though you think you are, you're not in charge of the situation. You're not going to dictate, hey, I'm going to attack. And then for whatever reason, because Turkey flexes nuts, you go and do a deal with them. Nuh-uh. And you want to know why that is? I want to be honest with you. I think Israel was anticipating the attack so that it could start bombing Idlib as well. But not bomb the rebel attacks. They want to bomb Bashar al-Assad's troops and Iran's troops. So once again, folks, I want to give everybody a heads up. Keep your eye on Idlib, Syria. I mean, I personally believe that Donald Trump is trying to suck in Russia into a bad quagmire in the Middle East. And Russia's taken the bait on this. I mean, I don't even understand what they're doing there. I mean, seriously. I mean, what are they doing there? I mean, they're protecting Bashar al-Assad, but they're cool with Iran, but they're cool with Israel, Israel hates Iran. Israel hates Bashar al-Assad. But Russia is cool with Turkey. I mean, it's just, who's Jewing who? I mean, who's Jewing who here? That's what I'm saying. They're all in a Mexican standoff. They got fucking guns to their heads. They're about ready to pull the trigger, for Christ's sake. Good God. Anyway, keep your eye on here, because I think that this is going to be a bad situation for Russia. I mean, you've got Israel. They want to take out Bashar al-Assad. Turkey wants to take out Bashar al-Assad. So you got two countries there that want to take out Bashar al-Assad. You've got Iran protecting Bashar al-Assad and on the side of the Russians. But it doesn't seem that the Turkish are too friendly with those entities. Obviously, Israel isn't either. So what is Russia trying to do? I mean, I have no idea. I mean, you know, I'm a pretty good judge of international relations, and I still can't understand what the hell these people are doing out there. All right? I mean, I know what Israel's doing. It wants to take out Iran and Bashar al-Assad positions because this country borders its country. I mean, you're getting a lot of rockets going into the Golan Heights region of Israel. And if you don't know what the Golan Heights is, look up Golan Heights rockets attacks, and that's happening on a nightly basis in Israel. That's why you have Israel hitting positions in Syria, specifically Iranian positions, because supposedly these rockets that are coming from Syria into the Golan Heights are Iranian. They're Iranian-made. So, very interesting things that are going to happen here in Idlib. I strongly, once again, suggest everybody to keep their eye on Idlib, because who the hell knows what's going to happen? All right? I mean, seriously, who the hell's going to know? Anyway, folks, we got about 15 minutes up in here. That's about it. That's all I have to talk about today. What I do want to do is extend the rest of the broadcast to questions of yours truly. Whatever you want to ask, once again, if you're in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, go ahead and type yourself in a question. Or if you're listening, go ahead and give me a gab and let me know anything you want to ask. I mean, this, you know, I actually like these types of interactions, you know. And people have, they've messaged me, they've emailed me, they've said, hey, Ghost, I like when you do the questions. You know, I mean, it's like you have an answer, an explicit answer for every fucking question that anybody asks you. Hey, that's because I'm a thinking man. You understand? I'm not somebody who's living in la-la land in their minds fucking 50, 60% of the day. I'm always in the now. I'm always in the present. I'm always in the cognizant. You understand? Anyway, folks, once again, I'm going to extend this portion of the broadcast to anyone out there who wants to ask questions, whether it's in the True Capitalist Radio chat room or it's in the... You can gab me. Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, all right? Hook me up with some questions, baby! Come on, man! Come on! Come on, man! Anyway, as we wait for questions, I do want to say my apologies for Monday. We're not going to do that again. We will definitely... we're definitely going to have Monday, Wednesday, Friday show, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But you know, I got a lot on my plate over here. You know, when you're an independent businessman and, you know, you're working 24 hours a day, your day never stops. You're always thinking about how you're going to get that next buck, how, you know, what you're going to do in your businesses, you know, a lot of stuff. It's hectic, and it was a little overwhelming. I had a little panic attack, and obviously people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room are showing that there's a clear connection with alcoholism and panic attacks, which is fucking ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, man. But anyway, what's my daily driver? Mercedes Brabus Modified, baby. Come and get some. I'm not going to tell you the year, though. Will the millennials ever change, even in the slightest? Probably not. Probably not. Remember, the millennials are a product of public education, and in public education, they don't, they don't emphasize math, science, critical thinking, that sort of thing. They've brought in liberal arts as a means of educating, and the fucking self-esteem movement. The self-esteem movement. I can't stand the self-esteem movement, man. I can't stand it. I'm not even joking. Somebody's asking me, what are my thoughts on the paranormal? That's a very interesting question. I've always tried to look for entities. That fascinates me. I've always wanted to see some kind of apparition, entity, or any of that shit. I've never seen it. So I guess I'm pretty biased about it. I have gone to places. There's a place out here in San Antonio called the Tracks. And what it is, it's an area of San Antonio that is haunted. It's a part of a train track that once killed, unfortunately, a bus full of students who were stuck on the train track, and a train went by and killed most of these students. Well, the spirit of these little small kids supposedly live on, and if you go to this railroad tracks, which is in a very weird part of town, and it's very spooky out there. There's a lot of weird stuff when you go through these. Just getting to the tracks is a very weird deal. You got to go through some weird, very sketchy. You can tell Satanists are out there doing all kinds of weird shit. We got to pass all this crap and then go to the tracks. And when you go on the tracks, what happens is that you're supposed to put your car in neutral. Okay? And what I do is I try to put perfect stop. I put the shit in park, and then you kind of put it in neutral. And when you put it in neutral, supposedly the spirit of the children push your car physically over the tracks. And we did that, and it's legit. I mean, I don't know if it's gravity or what, but we were forced over the tracks. And I remember going out there with a few people and getting out of the car and trying to sit on the damn trunk and telling the apparitions, faster, damn it, and all this other stuff. But I can say that I didn't see any entities. I think that was probably the spookiest thing I've done. I haven't seen any entities, so I can't really say that I believe in apparitions or any of that shit. I mean, I have never seen it. Now, do I believe that you can use your energy to manifest things into reality? I absolutely do. I absolutely do, for Christ's sake. I'm planning on doing some burgers on the grill this weekend. Any tips for a good beefy burger? Yes, okay, when you take the beef out, don't over pat the patty. As a matter of fact, don't pack the patty, don't compound the patty. Just try to make a patty with, like, right as you take it out of the package. Try to make the patty without trying to compress the grinded meat. And make it into a circle, and then cook them like that. All right? I mean, because the worst thing you can do to your beef patty is to compact the beef and overdo it and roll it and smash it and all this other shit. No, man, don't do that. Lightly, just delicately try to put the damn thing into a patty and then throw it in there. I'm telling you, you're going to know the difference, okay? All right, what are you reading these days? Book recommendations? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really reading too much right now, man. I was reading a little bit of what is this book? Hold on, let me get the book so I can tell you. I like buying old books. Okay, the one I'm reading right now is the Columbia University History of the World. This was edited by John A. Garrity and Peter Gay. Now, this is a thick-ass book. Let me see how many pages in there. There's about 1,200 pages in here. There's the bookmark. Sorry about that. Anyway, I've been reading that because, you got to get different perspectives on what people think the history of the world is, You know, I mean, this is Columbia University's, and when the hell was this, too? This was an old book. Hold on, let me get you the exact date on this, because this is a damn old-ass book here. When the hell was this published here? It was 1981, right here. There you go, 1981. So that's probably the thing that I've been reading as of late. You know what I mean? I saw a ghost as a kid on top of the stairs in a house bordering a cemetery, and the lady who lived there also did many times. Yeah, you might have seen something, or it could be a figment of your imagination. You know, who knows? You know, it could be a little thing on your eyebrow or your eyelash, like a little crumb on your eyelash that you thought was an apparition. Who the hell knows? You don't know. I'm kidding. All right. I'm kidding, man. What else do we have here? What are thoughts on minimalism as a way of living? Well, it depends on how you define minimalism. Minimalism, believe it or not, is a very cool architecture way of setting up your home. A good example of minimalism is the Bateman house. All right. Bateman's house in American Psycho. All right, you ever seen the character by Christian Bale from American Psycho? His apartment is a fantastic representation of what minimalism in architecture and in design, home design is. So in that context, absolutely. I love minimalism. I love very expensive pieces. I think it's pretty cool, man. I actually like minimalism, but like in that context, you know. No, you're talking about minimalism having as little stuff as possible. You know, I mean, I get that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but you still have to have things that give you value. You know. I mean, that's the whole point of working so hard. You want to work hard so that you can value stuff. And it gives you a little bit of value, like, yeah, that's my fucking car, bitch. And, yeah, look at my pad. You see that painting right there? It cost me $1,000, bitch. You see that right? I mean, you know, that's what you want to give yourself some worth. I mean, I'm not suggesting that you have all these possessions and, you know, have massive amounts of material or anything of that capacity. But if you're working hard and you're making lots of money, you know, you kind of want a little bit of something to show, you know, for it. You know, and maybe it's a badass couple of pieces of minimalist furniture, maybe it's not. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, who else do we got here? Colt or Remington? I'd have to say Colt, baby. I mean, if you're talking about old guns, everybody wants the original Colt, man. Jesus Christ, I'm running a brain fart. But you know, the classic Colt, you know, anyway, man, you got me brain farted on that one, man. You got me brain farted on that. What do we got on Twitter? Or fuck Twitter, Twatter, Gab here. I still say Twatter after all these years. Should the U.S. military, in your opinion, go and arrest the traitors in the FBI and the DOJ? Somebody needs to do it. I mean, you know, who's going to do it? I mean, they are the highest levels of the Department of Justice. I mean, who's going to arrest these people? Now, if the military is used to arrest individuals from the DOJ and the FBI, unfortunately, the optics on that is going to set a bad precedent, and people are going to call Donald Trump some kind of despot, some dictator, etc. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I would, in a perfect world, allow Trump to just go in and allow him to use the military to do so. But in this polarized political environment, I think that would help these really, really psychotic leftists to go off the deep end, for Christ's sake. What do I think of New Jersey? It's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. It's a garbage hole. I hate to admit that. I hate to say that, but New Jersey is a complete, utter, low-grade trash. I mean, if you're going to elect people like Cory Booker, for Christ's sake, I mean, what that's what's representing you, for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. What do I think of Jersey? I wouldn't take a shit in Jersey. That's what I think of Jersey, for Christ's sake. Are you kidding me? No offense to all the fans in Jersey. I'm not talking about you people, but I'm just I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying I'm not going to Jersey never. I'm never going to Jersey. Never. What for? What the hell for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. When you're moving out of state or remaining. Oh, you're talking about somebody else. I don't know. If I was going to live anywhere else, I'm going to be honest with you. Me and Mrs. Ghost have been talking about this. I'm thinking like Vegas for about 6 months to a year. You know, because that's the adult playground, baby. I mean, you know, you can always have something to do, and I'm kind of missing that. When I was in Austin, Texas, man, I mean, it was just nonstop. You could do something all the time. I love Austin, Texas, even though it's still turning into a liberal trash hole. There was still a lot of shit to do. I mean, it was a big city in a small town atmosphere. I like Austin. San Antonio, believe me, it's dirt trash out here. The only reason I'm living here is because you can live out here like a millionaire if you just have like 200, or not even 200. You can have like 150,000 in your bank account and live like a fucking king out here in San Antonio, man. I'm not even kidding. You know? I mean, you could literally have like $150,000, $200,000 and you're living like a millionaire in San Antonio. Now, in Austin, on the other hand, you're barely breaking middle class at $200,000. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. But yeah, I'm thinking Vegas. I'm thinking Vegas here in maybe a year or two. You know, maybe a year or two. Head to Vegas. They've got some pretty decent leasing options out there. They're already all furnished. They've got some badass places on the Strip that cost like, man, I think they're pretty dirt cheap, man. It's like $1,800 a month for a badass Strip. I mean, you know, 1-2 bedroom, you know, that allows pets, because you got to take Templeton. Hang out there, for Christ's sake, man. Do some gambling going on. You know, there's always something to do in Vegas, right? Man, you can go out to a show, you can do a concert, do a comedy show, you name it, man. You go to fucking casinos, and, you know, man, I remember the last time I was in Vegas, man, I had a fucking badass medium rare steak dinner at 4:30 in the morning. You know, just like Mrs. Ghost makes, man. I would definitely check out Vegas. That'd probably be the only place I'd go and live outside of Texas. And I wouldn't even live there forever. I'd live there for about maybe a year, you know, maybe a year. Anyway, anybody else have any questions? Doesn't look like it. Oh, what am I drinking lately? Spotting beer, baby. What are you talking about? Spotting beer. All right. Is Texas turning blue, or is it Austin, or is it just Austin and San Antonio? Well, I want to be honest with you, man. I feel sorry for San Antonio, man, because, you know, if somebody did a true writing of San Antonio as a town, it can come down to this. You've got a bunch of white, liberal, pompous-ass, hipster-wearing fucking faggots and dykes in this town that have taken control of the bureaucratic systems of government out here. And now what these faggots and dyke hipsters are doing, now that they have control of the city, is they're trying to use city funds to convert this city from a poor cesspool that it's always been in ever since Henry Cisneros took control of the goddamn city back in 1983. But it's turning from the subterranean shithole into a complete government-funded hipster shitbag. And, you know, it doesn't matter how much money the city throws at this fucking town, and, oh, look, we've made this development over here at the old Pearl Brewery. The old Pearl Brewery. Remember Pearl Brewery? Well, now it's a great complex, and it's got fucking badass condos, and it's got badass hipster living conditions, and it's got badass hipster restaurants and shopping and all that shit. And nobody goes there, nobody lives there, nobody cares, you know? I mean, there's not even enough people in this town rich enough to live in some of these developments that this fucking white, hipster, liberal piece of garbage is doing to this city. And the reason I'm making it racial is because this city is 85% Mexican, okay? 85% Mexican. Now, I don't mind that. I have nothing against Mexicans, you know. I mean, except unless you're an illegal Mexican. But most Mexicans are, you know, they're pretty family oriented, you know. They're pretty family oriented. They're religious people. They're fucking hard ass workers. So, you know, they're very simple peeps, you know, very simple peeps. But I find it disgusting, you know, considering that I'm not a very racial guy. I don't really care about race too much. That's why I talk so much shit about race, because how are you going to change your skin color? It doesn't even fucking make sense. It's stupid. But I find it ironic that we have white liberal pieces of trash now trying to force gentrification on a city of poor, impoverished Mexicans in an attempt to try to create their fucking hipster utopia. And it is, folks. It's sad. It's sad what's happening out here in San Antonio, but nobody cares. You know, nobody really gives a shit. And so long as everybody... Because, man, you want to talk about subjugation? You want to talk about segregation, as I should say. You want to talk about segregation? Come out here to San Antonio. Come out here to San... You couldn't get any more segregated than San Antonio. I mean, take a look at the east side. That's where all the blacks live. You take a look at the south side. That's where all the trash Mexicans live. You take a look at the west side. That's where all the, you know, a little upper grade trash Mexicans live. You go to the north side. It depends on what part of the north side. If you're in the northeast side, closer to the east side, you're going to have a lot of blacks. If you're in the northwest side, closer to the west side, you're going to have a lot of Mexicans, okay? But in the middle of that north side, depending on what part of town you're in, like you have a bunch of parts of town. There's a part of town called La Cantera, a part of town called Stone Oak. There's a bunch of part of town. Dominion, Fair Oak, all these places. Nothing but rich white folk. You know what I mean? And if you go to these places, if you don't look like you belong there, the fucking cops are going to stop your ass and probably put you in jail. I'm not even kidding, man. I mean, you couldn't get any more segregated. And, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think what's bad is that you've got these hipster, leftist, liberal faggots utilizing my tax dollars, because I have one business in San Antonio, and I'm paying sales tax to this shitbag city so that they can do what the fuck they're doing out here in San Antonio. It's a shame what they are doing to this city. It's a fucking shame. They're building all this hipster bullshit, meanwhile, on the south side of San Antonio, okay? Let me explain something to you. Our fucking government in San Antonio likes to claim that they love the people and that we're spending all this government money to help San Antonio residents and all this shit, right? Meanwhile, out in the south side of San Antonio, which is where, like I told you, very dirty, poor Mexicans are living. And they love it. They think the south side is the shit. I'm not even kidding. It is dirt trash. I wouldn't even stop in the south side if you paid me, man. You probably get shot just hanging out there. I'm not even kidding. It's a fucking dirt bag. It is a dirt hole. But did you know that in the south side of San Antonio, there is more amputated limbs in Texas that come out of the south side of San Antonio than anywhere else in Texas? Did you know that? Did you know that? Look that shit up. The south side of San Antonio, they have more amputees out in the south side than any other place in here. More people are getting shit amputated. Now, why is that? Why is that? Diabetes. Diabetes is literally killing the impoverished area of these towns. I'm not even kidding. I mean, you should see the amount of fat Mexicans that are in this town. And I'm talking like gigantuan fucking fat. And they're always stricken in the impoverished areas. I mean, look at the South Side. I'm not even kidding around. I mean, these people are gigantuan, they're fat, and this is why they're losing limbs. They're losing limbs to diabetes. Now, where in the hell are these so-called leftist liberals who are supposed to care about this community because they're spending all this ridiculous tax money on bullshit? How come they ain't helping the fucking po Mexicans out there that are fucking loading themselves up on fucking sugar and sugar water and sugary treats and bean and cheese and all this malnourishing food bullshit? How come they're not helping them motherfuckers out there, since they like to claim out here they're so fucking virtuous with their liberalism? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that soliloquy about San Hambonio, but I mean, you know, you get to live lavish out here. It's very easy to kind of, I mean, me and Mrs. Ghost, you know, whenever we go out, we don't call Ubers or anything. We fucking get limos because it's very cheap. You know, we go downtown, you know, we go to the better parts of town. You know, I live in one of those good parts of town, but either way, it's fun. It's fun out here if you stay away from the garbage, you know? I mean, I'm not even kidding. And hey, thank you for the God of Rage for posting. Look at this. Center for Disease Control, south side of San Antonio, has the highest rates of amputations in Texas. Look at that shit. I mean, you know, I'm just unfortunately I'm going off on a soliloquy here, and we're already 10 minutes into the fucking fourth hour. So I'm going to get the hell out of here. Okay, I'm going to get the hell out of here, but I mean, I'm just calling out the San Antonio city officials out here. You people are dirt shit. You know that? You people are dirt shit. You're utilizing all these funds for nothing. And you know what pisses me off about San Antonio, too? I'm gonna explain this, okay? This is one of the most dangerous cities in America right now. That's according to the FBI. They just put a fucking report out that San Antonio is one of the most dangerous cities in America right now. And meanwhile, fucking San Antonio fucking police get over $1 billion a year. They get almost $1 billion. I think it's like 800 million, 850 million. $850 million a year the San Antonio PD is funded. They're one of the most funded PDs in the nation. And yet, we still have all this crime. We still have rapes, murders. I mean, it's a disgrace. I challenge you people to look at San Antonio news. There's somebody dying every day out here. And if it isn't some fucking gangster killing another gangster, it's somebody who threw a kid against the wall because he's taking care of his girlfriend's kid and she's at work and he didn't ask for this. And I'm not even joking, folks. It's a fucking sick, demented story in San Antonio. And that's why nothing comes out of here. It's fucking sad. It's a disgrace. And it's not because the people are fucking bad people, man. It's just, this is a simple town with simple fucking people, and it's being taken advantage of by fucking liberals. And that's why I fucking hate these people. That's why I fucking hate the liberals. I'm not even joking. They don't care about minorities. They don't care about the po in America. They don't care about anybody but their own selves, for Christ's sake. And I'm tired of it. I mean, you know, how much longer does San Hambonio have to be a impoverished embarrassment before we start blaming the people that we need to blame? And that's the fucking liberals that took control of this fucking stupid shithead city. I mean, look, I've told you all about this before. Every year around springtime, around April, they have a party that they throw in the middle of the downtown area of the city called Fiesta. Now, it is one of the most disgusting city-sanctioned events I have ever seen in my life. Because everybody has grown up, apparently, in this city that they save up throughout the year. They save up like $1,000, $2,000 so they can blow it at this fucking festival called Fiesta every year. Now, you want to know why I hate this fucking festival? First of all, the city makes a fortune off of this fucking festival. they charge, there's a lot of open vendoring out there at the festival. So if you want to be a food vendor, you have to pay the city $10,000 or $15,000 so that you can be a food vendor at one of the locations that they closed down, one of the many streets they closed down in downtown San Antonio, so you can be a food vendor in an open market booth capacity. And on top of that, the only people that sell beer out there is the city. And guess what? The city makes a fortune off of selling these people. And I don't know if you know this, the San Antonio, most DUIs in Texas too, all right? I mean, it's not funny, but I just want to let y'all know that. The fucking city knows that. And you want to know why they have this festival every year? So they can get all these poor fucking people that are just trying to have a good time because, hey, it's fiesta! Yeah! These people get fucking drunk as a skunk. These people get drunk as a fucking skunk. And guess what the SAPD does during fiesta? They make a large perimeter around the downtown area so that if you happen to be driving home, which most people do, from fiesta, they get you in a DUI situation. And, no one wants to fucking cure the DUI situation in this town. Every fucking month on mysanantonio.com, and hey, fuck mysanantonio.com while you're at it. What a bunch of pieces of shit. But every month, mysanantonio.com, all right, posts how many fucking DUI arrests they were each month. Okay? And they pose the people's mug shots, they put the picture of these people, etc. And each one of those represents at least $3,500 to the city. And that's just if it's in their first offense. If it's their second offense, well, you got to, it goes higher, I think the second offense is like $5,000. And then by the third offense, you're probably going to go to jail unless, you have some attorney, who knows the judge, and that's about it. So, in my personal opinion, folks, the people that are in charge of this city, the white liberals, the way this city is constructed, they are purposely keeping the minorities that they claim that they're helping down at a level in which they that are in charge of the government can continue to profit off of them. They can continue to profit off of them in DUIs, arrests, you name it. And it's a fucking disgrace. And lest we forget, it's the city that sells the beer during this fiesta. The fucking city shuts down for like 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding. The whole downtown area is this fucking fiesta festival. And the city are the ones that collect the money from the beer. So, folks, I'm sorry. You observe this when you live here for a minute, and it's like, man, really, man? This is why this city is so bad? This is what happens when Democrats run things. And the Democrats have been running this city ever since that fucking piece of prostate-infected shit, Henry Cisneros. Look up that piece of garbage. Ever since Henry Cisneros came along, the city went down the tubes because San Antonio used to be a great city. San Antonio, you take a look at San Antonio pre-Cisneros, it was a pretty decent city out here. So, anyway, look. I'm sorry for going off on that soliloquy, man. I want everybody to know that when you vote for Democrats, you're voting for subjugation, man. You're voting for criminality. You're voting for, San Hambonio. You're voting for Chicago. You're voting for Baltimore. That's what you're voting for, man. So anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in with me. I'm already like 20 minutes into the fourth hour, but I had to go off on that soliloquy because I fucking hate liberals. I fucking hate Democrats. They're the most disingenuous pieces of shit on the planet. You could see it in their face. And yet not everybody, but most of these minorities believe these morons. Most fucking virtue-signaling liberals believe these morons. And, I can't believe that they can't look at the things that I can clearly see and say, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture? Wait a minute, what is this? So anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here, all right? Once again, my apologies for being off on Monday, folks. I will be back this Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. Once again, on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, ghost.report, baby. All right? That's the official website. Make sure to spread it around like wildfire. And, by the way, folks, I want to thank those that are contributing out there to the cryptocurrency wishing well, man. Cheers to you guys out there. This is why this show continues to go on, man. Because, look, I'm not making any cash off this broadcast, all right? I mean, I'm serious. I'm not just saying it. I mean, even the money I made off of the autographs, I mean, what did I make? I think like $400 or $500. $400 or $500, I mean, I've paid about $1,000 for the website for the past couple of years, total like $1,000. And the reason that is I pay it by the year, and it's from WordPress, so that just in case there's any hacksaws out there that hate old Ghost and want to hack my website, they're going to have to hack all of fucking WordPress to do it. So that's why I do it. And on top of that, I'm doing the stream, and I mean, I had to buy all this fucking equipment for Christ's sake. I mean, come on, man. But you know why I did it, folks? Because the current political situation in this country is that dire, and nobody on the mainstream media is informing people properly on what's going on, not just in this country, but the entire world. So that's what continues to motivate me, and moreover, I'm trying to create capitalists, not only in this country, but in every country worldwide. And that's why. That's why I continue to do it. So anyway, folks, thank you all very much for listening. I really appreciate you for listening, whether you're listening live or in the archive. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all. I will be back this Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and try to tell everybody you know about the broadcast, baby. We're taking everything 110% serious, so tell them to come on down. All right, come on down. Oh, yeah, and by the way, check out the merch, ghost.market, all right? Ghost.market. That's what you type in your browser right now. Check out the merch. Anything you buy from there, not only are they badass threads, but you'll also be supporting the broadcast as well, folks, all right? Anyway, I am out of here. Thank you guys for listening. I'm telling you, I love doing the broadcast because of the direction that the broadcast is going, the serious direction that it's going, man. I love it. I love each and every one of you listening. I'm getting the hell out of here. Long live the capitalist army, baby, and death to socialism, death to feminism, and death to communism. You better be here with me live, 6:30 p.m. on this Baller Friday. You better be here, and tell everybody you know to be here as well, folks. I'm getting the hell out of here. And by the way, if you appreciate the broadcast, take a look at that cryptocurrency wishing well. Throw some cryptocurrency in and make a wish. All right? I'm going to be back Friday, folks. I'm out of here. Woo!